How's it going, everybody? I'm Kyle from Fantasy Forge Studios, and we are back with some more Everlast role-playing game. We are here with almost everyone. Unfortunately, Akari is not able to be here today, but we have most of the cast as they just pull into the ports of Folden Rock. And so, without further ado, this is Everlast. It's a tabletop RPG that is currently in the making. It is created by me, play tested by all of these guys, and yeah, we are currently on a, what is this? We're moving into like 5 years of like adventuring in Everlast, something crazy like that. So yeah, it's a time and a half. But let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Zil.
Hello, I'm Max. I play Zil with some extra flavor background noise of coughing and a scratchy throat. So, really,
I wonder what scratchy
leaning
throat
into
flavor is
his
like.
orphan heritage. He probably was sick a lot growing up on the streets. um, he is the party tank. He takes a lot of damage. He's got a friend mouse named Waffle. And he is on a quest to not only save the world, but become its best blacksmith along the way.
I thought you were going to go, he's not on a quest to save the world, but become its best friend, too.
That too.
I love it. I love it. Perfect. Our next character is Luxalia.
I am Luxalia, and also Cole. And Luxalia is basically, you know, the best light, Glyven mage lady in the Wild West. And she keeps people alive, she heals them with her prayers, because she's one holy shrine maiden, you know? And she likes tea. And
I think that was a personal choice there.
yeah. But let's be honest, everybody prefers tea over coffee, that's for sure.
But if you do like coffee, check out.
Wait, we have coffee?
We have coffee. We have
Wow.
Everlast coffee. Isn't that so cool? And it is linked below. And if someone wants to put !coffee in chat, it'll link you to our store. But we have a bunch of different flavors. These are a couple examples, and all of these are official arts from the game Everlast, which is pretty sweet. Right now, since it's like 7:30 at night and I shouldn't be drinking caffeine, I'm drinking Midnight and Flamongolith blend. It is a delicious medium blend with tasting notes of cocoa, mellow citrus, and it's very toasty. But it's also our decaf blend, which is pretty nice. So check that out. Again, also the price will be going down if we can get regular purchases every month. If we get at least 10 purchases, we can actually decrease the price of it, which is nice. So consider doing so. Whether or not you drink coffee, who here drinks coffee? Raise your hand. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. No one drinks coffee here. But I'm sure all of you have friends who drink coffee and or loved ones who drink coffee, and it's a wonderful way to spread the love of Everlast and help support the game. So
Enable
consider
their
doing so.
everybody.
Feeds the addiction.
That's what the decap's for.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, nice. It's a good one.
Anyways,
Yeah, well, someday I look forward to the silver leaf tea blend.
In the meantime, you can enjoy the golden hour in the Silverwood.
Beautiful.
The Helix breakfast tea.
Yeah.
That's true. There is the Helix breakfast tea.
Is there going to be more coffee now everywhere we go in Everlast?
for all the shameless plugs.
Yeah.
Every tavern you go to, it's like, you can have some ale, you can have, but we also have Everlast coffee, our special folded rock blend.
And everyone's like,
Oh.
no, thanks.
Except for Yuki and Thornton, because, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know.
and last but not least, happy birthday, Cole.
Hey.
It is his birthday today, everyone, so he's another year older.
Yeah.
old man.
He's entered
Well,
into old man age.
I feel like I'm at the age where I can no longer claim to be a young adult, and I'm just an adult now.
I would say 20s
Well-
is still young adult.
I don't know.
Depending on who
You're not
you ask,
college
young adult
grad
goes
young
up
adult, but
39, so
Well, all right. I feel slightly
right.
better now.
The average lifespan these days is 111 years old. So,
Wow, that's how old Bilbo was.
Bilbo.
and then he aged real quick. He became a raisin in 3 years.
No, that was like 20 years later.
Oh yeah, that's true. He
Yeah,
left.
I'm
He
just
left.
saying.
He left the Shire, and then he became a. I mean, he was looking really good until he was 111. 20 years
Frodo-
later, he just
Frodo
aged.
didn't see him for 17 years after he
Who
left the
needs
Shire.
Genucell when you've got the One Ring, you know?
Sometimes when you caress it, you put it on, and you see random fiery eyes in your brain.
And you're like, the wrinkles go away.
For the sake of a sorrowful
Nice.
passion.
oh god.
Anyways,
That's
our
it,
next
that's
character.
Salia.
Our next character is Yuki.
I think every single character should have a plug as they go through.
Yeah, there we go.
We need to do a
I'll start
waffle
doing
brand for
plugs
Zill.
Like Critical Role.
Yeah, just
Like,
get your
What's his bucket?
yeah, Sam Riegel.
Yeah, I'll just start doing plugs like him every time.
It's good. But no, everyone, I'm Dane or Forge for Fantasy Forge Studios, and I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. She is a silver dragon from the north reaches of Flamongolith, based off of our Flamongolith blend. Our Flamongolith blend is based off of the town that Yuki comes from. Isn't that neat? Isn't that swell? Anyways, sorry. She is a bard and she is a blade dancer, so she is a DPS, which is pretty cool. She does a lot of damage. She uses 2 broadswords, and she is really looking forward to finding what's his name, Aldreg Monteblair, with the help of Princess Mila. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. So that's awesome. Also, one quick plug for 24 hours. 24 hours. Starting at
when?
noon today. So we have like another 12 hours or so, or a little bit more than 12 hours. Everlast merch in the merch store is actually a massive discount. So what we're going to be starting to do every single time we stream Everlast, the 24 hours starting at 12 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time till Saturday 12 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, we're going to be having some sales and stuff in our Everlast merch. So we got some real cool things in there. We got some actually new merch in there. So we got some hoodies. We got like a nice champion brand sweater. And we also have a play mat, which is really cool, or a desk mat, however you want to call it. You can use it for your desk, or you can use it to play some sweet Pokemon TCG games. Yeah, we have all of those, and all of those are at a massive discount only for 24 hours during our Everlast stream. So if you've ever been sitting here thinking, man, Everlast is just such an amazing game, I can't wait for it to come out, how can I support it? But I don't want to spend $19.99 on a shirt. Well, you can spend $14.99 on a shirt instead. So consider doing so. But yeah, it's going to be every single time we have Everlast. It's going to be for 24 hours. That sale's going to last. And so if you do happen to miss out on this time and you're regretting it, it's okay. The next time we stream Everlast, the sale will be back. So.
And I will say the quality is pretty good because this is a shirt from the new store, and the like print quality, like honestly, the fact that we switched providers for the suppliers, oh my, it has made the all the difference in the world. And for me personally, I'm a sweaty boy, and living in Japan, it gets real sweaty here. And so they have, at least in this style of shirts, they have the kind of like the sports dry wick shirt, which is what I'm wearing right now. So it's really nice, very cozy. But
I'm repping the old merch. Sorry,
it's okay.
So is Max.
I need to get with it.
So, but yeah, that's just a small little plug, as we got that. So, if you guys have been considering purchasing, again, and it helps out the creation of Everlast, so we appreciate it.
Cool.
Anyways, Connor, go ahead.
Yes, Belbin, our next character.
Yes. So, hey guys, I'm Connor. I'm Belbin. I am a Glyven. Given another shameless plug, I was looking at the merch store today, and it was like for $3 extra, you get like the dry fit Everlast shirt, and I was
That's
like,
what Kyle's wearing. That's what he's
that's
wearing.
worth it. Yeah,
It's so good. It's
for
so
$3
good.
extra, got to pull the trigger.
And there's a
So,
bunch of different colors too.
How does the large or extra large compare to like your normal? Does it run big or small or right on money?
I would say it runs light on the money, right on the money. However, maybe slightly looser.
Cool.
Like it's movable. So like if you're running, if you're not, it's not like fitting roll tight across your chest. So yeah, it's
Cool.
pretty normal size. It's like, think of it. Do you remember our tennis shirts when we were playing in high school? Kind of like that. Nothing like super tight, just like regular.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Anyways,
good
Connor.
stuff. Yes. Anyway, sorry. Everyone else was getting plugged, so I was like, all right. This is what my thoughts were. But yes, Belbin is a Glyvin. He's from the Roku Horn. Really, Luxalia and Belbin grew up almost as neighbors. Like they were so close, except like just a town over too. But don't
It's like
get
Grand
along.
Junction in Denver, you know.
Yeah, it's like
Right there.
what is it? It's, yeah, not nothing too much.
6 hours of driving through the mountains.
Nothing.
But yeah, Belbin, he's kind of a bit of a hoodlum, hood rat.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Sometimes he tries to get out of trouble. Sometimes he gets in trouble. Depends on if he gets caught or not. But
Sometimes he loses to elves in wrestling.
yeah, and that was just not fair. I think if I showed up for one of the wrestling matches, there would have been a different result. But when you have
Dude, you
Max,
should not have lost that. My rolling is terrible.
every time Max rolls for me, bad things happen. So
Yeah, freaking Azale, dude.
No,
yeah.
he lost.
Every time
two.
Max rolls, bad things happen.
Specifically when bad things happen when Max rolls for Belbin.
For
So,
It is literally why Dane got me fancy dice as a wedding gift.
And they
So
still
hopefully change the luck.
have they?
Well, there's no D16 in them.
That's true. That's right.
You know what? I've heard Belbin also really likes snacks.
I do too.
DaiSNACKi.
DaiSNACKi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Pick up your box now.
Remember at checkout to say Fantasy Ford sent you.
Speaking of snacks, I think Belbin might be thinking Princess Mila is a little snack that's hitting on him. So
Ew.
have to see if that leads anywhere.
They are like the same age,
It's true.
but she's an
Amen.
elf, so she's a baby.
Age of
Technically, I think
Aquarius.
she's older. I think Belbin is technically 50 something.
Yeah, it is
but-
50s.
So she's
He's in
older
the-
than I
he's-
am.
Yeah, she's a bit of a cougar. You
It's
know?
not. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
weird just because she's an elf.
It's still weird. Still weird.
She's an older elf than Belbin, but she still kind of looks like a child.
Oh God.
Don't think too
Anyways.
much about that.
That's Belbin. Thordane!
Thordane's not here. Kyle, do you want to introduce Thordane?
Yeah, I can introduce Thordane. So Thordane is a elf of science. He's a international man of mystery. He is the captain of Alomnia's Breath, which is the ship that Eclaas rides and pilots. And is it called piloting a ship? He's the
Yeah.
captain of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, piloting the ship. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's really good at winning wrestling matches. He's got a sweet sword that talks to him. And he is also a woodland elf, and he is a hunter. And so he literally, his whole job is to use bows and set traps and do all that kind of stuff in combat. And he's got a little bit of healing, so he's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the party. But yeah, he's a cool dude. And he is an elf of few words.
And he's a great support for the team, just like you could be on our Patreon. If you... It is there, though.
It has been a hot sec since we've talked about the Patreon.
I'm just
It's
saying,
still available.
Everlast Patreon has my face on it, well, Luxalia's face, so I felt the need.
That's true. It does. If you go to our About section, you can see all the links to all of those things we talked about. So,
Feel free to click at your leisure.
yeah.
Explore, peruse.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I'm Kyle. So I am the creator of Everlast. I am the Fate Weaver. I am both playing with and against these players, but most importantly, I'm helping to flesh out the narrative of Eclaas as they make an impact on the world of Everlast, as they search down all of the corners of the world to hunt down the evil demons and the denizens of the void. And so, with that being the case, because this game is still in technically playtesting, Fantasy Forge Studios, LaFonte, we own all copyrights in the text, images, videos, audio, graphics, story, gameplay mechanics, and all the intellectual properties involved in the creation of Everlast. Don't take it and sell it, but feel free to take it and use it for your own homebrew stuff. We want you to be able to enjoy this world just as much as we are all enjoying it. But without further ado, unless anyone has any other plugs or anything to say, let's go ahead and it is free real estate. Actually, it's not. Don't take it. It's not free real estate. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap of what is going on. So currently, Eeas, this group of adventurers, are making their way through the inland strait of Everlast, trying to collect all of the holders of the elemental keys, which are associated with the different elemental pillars, each of which are the different kind of portions of the world's creation. And so, Eeas, much earlier, before the official streamed content went on, they fought an Earth Elemental, and they, in turn, became the holders of the Earth Key. And so they are one of these 4 Elemental Key holders. They made their way all the way to Aishan Island. Let me go ahead and pull up the main map so you guys can... Oh, that's not the map. Pull up the main map so you guys can kind of have a little bit of a... thing. They went to Terabay Island, they collected the Earth Key. They went to Aishan Island, and they did an entire adventure where they went through the jungles and defeated an evil sorcerer and made their way up to Flomberge, which is the main fire dragon settlement in Everlast. And they ended up meeting King Nalgoric Cragheim, who is the keeper of the Flame Key, the Fire Pillar. And he tasked them because of all of the evil stuff that was happening. Not only there was dead eyes, but also cultist, sorcery, all that kind of stuff, and volcanic eruptions, and a very sleepy giant dragon within the volcano. So, like, we need to discuss what is actually going to happen, and there is something special that happens, apparently, when all 4 keys are reunited. And so, King Nalgoric sent off Eeas in the northward trajectory to go find the last 2 keys, the Keeper of the Sea Key, which is King Farrand, which they did an entire thing where they went to go save Princess Mila in the depths of Tali Tali. They fought these Krakora, who apparently were being possessed by this elemental power that gave them sentience and whatnot, and they fought Giant Hydra. They saved her, and King Farrand was like, "Hey, I will be part of this, and I will meet you at Flomberge, which is the city down south." And so Eclaas is now on the kind of last leg of the journey to go find the keeper of the Sky Key, which is Aldridge Monteblair. And the last known location for this individual was in Folden Rock, so they went up here to Fashion Fae. Ooh, that's nice. And then now they made their way over to Folden Rock. But last stream, if you weren't a part of that, it's on YouTube. Go check it out. But there was wrestling matches part 2 amongst the crew and apparently visitors on board the Alomnia's Breath. And yeah. So they have made their way very casually on a nice sauntering cruise through the inland straits to Folden Rock, to which they arrive at midday in the port of Folden Rock. So let me go ahead and set the scene for you adventurers as you make your way in. This city, you can see it from quite a distance. It's much taller than you would probably assume, considering it is a man-made island. It's quite large. Definitely doesn't hold the scale to Aishan Island. Aishan Island is freaking huge as far as islands go, but this is a pretty impressive. However, the first thing that all of you notice, I'm going to have you make perception checks for me. Not perception. Focus checks. Sorry, focus.
Oh dear.
Focus.
You've been playing too much D&D.
Yeah, I have.
Belwin gets an 8.
Zill also gets an 8.
By the way, that might seem low, but we all use D16s for the main dice. It's not a D20 based system, so.
Yuki got a an 11, and Thordain rolled a nat 1 for
What was
Come on,
Luxalia's
guys.
roll? Sorry, I don't
Got
remember.
17.
17.
I didn't say it yet.
Okay. Okay. The one thing that all of you notice is that this entire island is surrounded by a ring wall that extends about 10 feet high. It is made of solid stone, and so you can't see much of the city except for a few of the taller buildings that poke out over the top. As you begin, because you're kind of coming in towards it in kind of this southeasterly direction, but as you begin to sail into port, and you kind of go around the front side of this island, you eventually are greeted to a large port. There are a number of ships that are in and out, and you can see that are making their way in and out of the harbor. And I would say the only comparable set of docks that you've seen that are at this scale is that of Port Grandium, which it was greater and more vast. But Folden Rock is known as basically the center of trade in all of the inland strait, and so in all of the seas of Everlast, it's basically the main trade hub that divides the two parts of the continent. However, Luxalia, one thing you do notice as you make your way around the bay is a large, towering, ominous structure north of the island, probably a solid close to a mile off of the coast of the island. And this is it just looks like this dark stone tower with a wall that surrounds it as well. But you begin to make your way into port, and as you do so, you get all tied up, and the crew
Did you
is
just reference this guy?
in reference to this up here at the top. You make your way into port, and you're able to dock your ship, Lami's Breath. There are a lot of ships that are here. Most of them look like cargo freights, and so your ship is actually quite small comparatively compared to some of these other. And everybody in your crew is very much set to work, doing the things that the crew members do as they begin to pull in. But as you do so, you are stopped, and an individual climbs on aboard the ship, and he has heavy footfalls and boots. And as you see, he looks to say, "Who's the captain of this ship?"
Thordain, with still wearing his captain's hat that he had worn on Pirate Night, because
He's taken a liking.
the rum of ages influenced him. He walks up, he saunters up, he's like, "That would be me."
Ah, you don't look like a cargo ship. What is your purpose here in Folden Rock?
Ah, yes, we have been sent by King Ferrand himself from Feshenfey. We are here to meet with various people, including Edmund Harrogate and Aldreg Monteblair.
He walks up closer, and he basically stands up Thordain, and he looks him dead in the eyes, very close. As he goes he's actually shorter than Thordain, but as he kind of sizes him up, you can smell that there's a very, very alcohol on this guy's breath. You can tell that he's been drinking while doing his duty, and he looks with kind of his 5 o'clock shadow. He looks at Thordain in the face, and he goes, "Huh. You said the Feshenfey King sent you.
That is correct.
You best keep that to yourselves." And he takes a step back. He looks to basically everybody that's on board the ship, and it's a pretty small crew comparatively. And he says, "Not well hand, are you?"
I have a question.
Is this scurvy dog insulting us?
I have
It's
a question.
difficult to tell. Make a wisdom skill check for me, Belvin. Yes, Yuki.
Can Thordain also incite that comment about the Feshenfey
Yeah, make a wisdom skill check.
not liking? Okay. That's curious.
6.
6. Belbin, Yeah, it sounds kind of like like an insult, but you can tell that this guy is just trying to do his duty. But as you look at him, he's wearing very much like these seafarer's clothes. He has this cutlass that is hanging off of his belt at his side, and he struts around like he knows what he is doing and what he is talking about as he kind of looks at the masts and kind of inspects the ship to a degree. He doesn't seem to be walking and confronting anyone in particular, and eventually he starts slowly making his way back to kind of like the gangway before making his way to the docks before turning around. Yuki, what was Thordane's role?
Thordane's was a 17. He's kind of more looking, because I don't know if he would know necessarily the history between Folden Rock and them, but he's wondering if it's just drunkenness talking. That's kind of
No, this doesn't seem drunkenness talking. There's clearly a purpose of what he is saying, although it's quite you're unsure if it's like a hate for the people or if it's something else. If Thordane wants to discuss it further, he can tell that this guy is not. He's welcomed you to a degree into Folden Rock, but he also. There seems to be something about the way that he was speaking that's a little bit off.
Yeah.
But he doesn't
Thordane
seem uninviting either.
Yeah, Thordane, before he jumps off, will say, "What do you mean by that? What qualm does Fashion Fae have with Folden Rock in the free peoples of Everlast?"
He comes over close and he looks side to side as if secretive, and he whispers to Thordane. He says, "The people of Folden Rock are forever grateful to those of Fashion Fae. They help protect our waters, but do understand, these are dangerous times and there are ill folk at foot."
I see. And they walk among us, I see. And Thornton kind of looks over the bow. Anyone in particular we should look out for? Be wary of.
Folden Rock is a place where many people come to visit. We have our laws, and as long as you follow your laws, you're usually well-to-do. However, let's just say that a very dangerous someone is out and about these days, and they have a particular, well, let's just say unsavory disposition towards those of power and those who are in royalty.
Good to know. Thank you, sir. And Thordane flicks him a EC for the advice.
He reaches and grabs it out of the air, and he goes, "Oh, good folk." And he puts it like in like a little coin pouch on his chest, and he gives Thordane a pat on the shoulder as he begins to walk away. He says, "Make sure you pay my men before onboarding the ship. It isn't free to be able to stay here." As he begins to walk down, "Enjoy your stay at Folden Rock."
Nice. And Thordane will make sure that he goes over to Princess Mila, and he'll lean into her and says, "So this is your first time doing anything like this, is it not, Princess Mila?"
Yes, of course. I mean, I've been traveling, but I've always been with my father. This is really the first time that I've been out by myself.
And not wanting to freak Princess Mila out about the conversation that just had, he's going to say, well, astute. As you are here, you are one of us. You are a traveler. You are not royalty. I think that will be the wisest thing to learn about the peoples. Aside from people looking up to you, you need to be one of them."
Oh, okay. I think I still have a few of my clothes from Pirate Night that I can go change into, because she's like wearing like a very luxurious like set of like robes and like kimono. She has like a hood that King Farion had like given her to like put on her head, but she looks lavish. She like if she as you look out amongst like the harbor and like the dock area, everybody is just wearing seafarers' clothes, and she is very much standing out. Not only like she's a sign of her culture, but she also is a clear sign of wealth too.
Well, don't worry. There's a time and a place for that, Princess Mila. If you do want to still take a nice pair of your royal clothes with you, you'd be more than happy, or you'd be more than welcome to put them with Yuki in her backpack. She can carry it, of
But until we get to that time and place, milady, unless you're careful, these folk in the lower realm, lower area, they're gonna smell your wealth a mile away.
Oh, what does that smell like? And she begins kind of like
It's not what it smells like. It's what it doesn't smell like.
Maybe we have
Filth, dirt, urine.
Excuse me? That sounds quite unsavory. Are you telling me these people piss themselves?
No, I'm just saying there's not a lot of sanitary options available to them. So if something gets even slightly dirty, it holds on to that, and you just start collecting various dirts.
There was actually a scandal a few years back in Feshenfei where we had some visitors from some of the southern islands, and, well, they were defecating in the streets, and it was a big to-do, and they were immediately escorted out of the city. I hope we don't run into that. It was, well, let's just say I could smell it all the way from the Feshenfei Keep.
Unfortunately, some of the chronically less well-to-do humans, that can be more of a norm than an exception.
So you say pooping in the streets is it's an illness, is it?
Not an illness, just
Dysentery. It gets him every time.
all that rum.
just a common enough habit among the
drunks.
poorer folk.
To poop
Let's
on the
just say I've
streets?
seen it more often than I care to remember.
She puts her hand on your shoulder, Zil, and she says, Sir Zil, did you poop in the streets where you came from?
Yes, we saw him.
Has Zil pooped in the streets? I don't know. Let's
It's up to
find
you
out.
completely.
No, it's up to the dice. Unfortunately, I can't say I've never done it.
I told you.
There have been times in my life where I have not had a home.
How do you think he found his mouse friend?
Well, what did you do to wipe? That sounds very uncleanly. Do you just carry around toilet paper with you?
How do you think he met his mouse friend?
Oh, poor Waffle.
I'll put it this way. When we made it to Aishan Island, fairly recently, what, a month ago? About a month ago, we stayed at a beautiful onsen. It was the first time I ever bathed. It was incredible.
I wonder.
Sir Zil, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
22, I think. I don't remember.
Well, I'm just very happy that you were able to bathe before coming to save me. Fortunately, we met underwater in circumstances, well, in such circumstances, I think that was a thorough washing, so I think you're good for a few more days.
I hope so. Oh, believe me, it was incredible. I want to make it a regular thing. It was, it felt so good. So relaxing. But
Saving me
all
or
I'm
the
saying is-
onsen?
I would say saving you was relaxing, but it was very enjoyable. I am a sucker for a good adventure. But what I'm trying to say is you're used to a particular lifestyle that up until we get to the upper rings of Folden Rock will be almost completely and entirely foreign to the people we will be passing. And they will notice if you don't do anything to hide it.
She looks over to Luxalia, and she sees Luxalia in her just kind of like cleric robes and everything, and she says, "If I can't wear what I'm wearing, why does Luxalia get to wear what she's wearing?"
Well,
Luxalia's a street rat.
even I don't know about Folden Rock. Don't know much, but I know humans, and even in the poorest parts, even in those who may have lost their faith, there's still a respect of it. There's a respect that something like Luxalia is wearing garners among all, that wealth doesn't always.
Well, the last thing I want to be is disrespectful.
Also, I'm kind of poor, so I don't have much to steal.
I'm not concerned about you being disrespectful, Princess. I'm concerned of your safety.
Well, that's why I have you, isn't it?
And that's why I'm telling you all this right now. I don't mean to scar you. I don't mean to scare you. I don't mean to offend your sensibilities, but you're gonna see some things you've probably never seen before in the next mile walk up the road.
She thinks and she ponders upon this as she kind of walks over to the side of the boat, and she looks at the people on the dock, and she turns and she says, "Master Zill, so is Folden Rock perpetual Pirates Night?" She like looks at like the people and like all of like the seafaring clothing, and people are just walking around with like bottles in their hands and making merry and also yelling, and yeah.
That is a shockingly accurate way to think about it.
Well, I still have my outfit. And she's like, "Perhaps I could do something a little bit more to stylize it. If you give me an hour and a half, I could be back with a perfect outfit to fit the occasion."
And you keep calling me master.
Yes.
These lovely bunch have taught me a lot recently, and I've met a lot more royalty than I ever thought I would. But I'm still very new to this world. The world you see out in front of you, that's closer to where I'm from. And it's been a joy to get to meet you and know you. It's been a joy to see your world. And it delights me to see that there wasn't much recognizable in Fashion Fair, at least that I saw, from what I grew up with. And that's an achievement to be proud of for your people. But not everywhere's like that.
Make an influence skill check for me.
Well, I didn't roll good, but I am good at that. 11.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to learning more about your culture, Master Zill. As long as we don't have to defecate in the streets, I think I'm going to be quite fine.
It's never expected. It's actually mostly frowned upon. It just happens. Unfortunately.
Did you have a particularly acidic brew of coffee for that to happen?
Not acidic,
Can't-
by the way.
Not in Folden Rock.
Couldn't say. I've never been able to afford the stuff.
Did you steal it?
I've never tried it.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better. Anyways, I'm gonna go change, get ready for our departure. But if there's anything that anybody needs of me, you know where to find me. I'm just below deck. Okay.
Yep. Nice.
Party as a
And
whole.
time passes.
What are you
How
doing
much-
as part of this preparation?
Well, first and foremost, how much does it cost to like dock the boat and stuff? Because Sordian's gonna take care of that.
Yes, per day, it is a cost of 12 EC.
Okay. How much did Princess Mila give us, Delbin? Remember?
I don't know. Let me see.
Oh my god.
200? Was it 200 EP?
It could have been.
That sounds right. That sounds
That
right.
sounds about right.
Wait, I don't know how many days are gonna be here. Thordain will pay with 2 of those EP up front.
2 of his own or 2 of?
No, of the ship EP because it's ship funds. It's not yours.
Okay.
Bree won't allow that.
You actually have to go to Bree, and she's just like, "Excuse me, show me the ledgers of exactly how much it costs." And Yuki asks for 2 EP, and she's like, huh, "You're gonna give them more than what they're owed." And she goes and she breaks the change. You can remove 2 EP and add 5 EC to the coffers.
I like Bree.
We're not paying them more than what they're owed. We are paying for a service. We're not charity case. And if they have a problem with that, they can answer to Martha. Or
I've got
there's
a
a
problem
whip.
with
There's
that.
a way.
Where there's a whip. there's a
Belbin,
way.
do you want to pay more than what they're owed?
No, I just love Martha.
Well, so do I. At least we relate on that in that aspect.
If you're ever looking to get rid of her, let me know.
I'll let you know. Ominously, she.
The sass. It's okay. I like that our accountant is a woman who doesn't put up with no one's crap, including Belbin.
I gotta say, it sure seemed like
Or
from the
you
last
can-
episode, nobody really likes her. Maybe we should just fire her. Plus, we're paying her more.
That's right. I forgot about that. My bad. My bad. Well, there you go. Well, I guess, are we ready to depart the ship and do some exploring?
Let's do it.
As the hour and a half passes and the crew that wants to disembark are ready to disembark, you see Barnacle Bill up in the rafters, and he's like, "I'll keep watch of the ship. I'll make sure no one steals our stuff."
Thanks, Bill.
No problem. And he jumps down and does his iconic somersault as he begins to kind of put like the planks down the gangway for you to be able to disembark. And again, the strength of this old man is pretty impressive as he just takes these giant planks and you see him moving it by himself as he puts it down. And all the while, you see Nalathir. He comes up on deck too. He's wearing a very fine coat, and he's got like an ascot tied around, and he has like a walking cane, and he has his hand on his hip, and he makes his way over, and he's like, "I have some business in Hightown. I will see you when I Well, when are we departing? How long is our stay here at Folden Rock? I have a few friends that I would like to visit."
So at least a couple days. We have a man to look for. And
Perfect.
we don't know where he is.
If you need anything from me, you can find me at the Regal Peacock. And he just begins to make his way down, and he very casually saunters through the crowd. He very much stands out. He has this like tall hat with like this big feather that comes out, and you can see him as he's like nodding and greeting everybody that he passes. And a lot of these people are just like, what the heck? He just like kind of just like very confidently strolls through the crowd, and he eventually disappears.
Did anyone ever ask, like, what is Nalathir's shtick? Like, what is he? Who is he?
No one's asked.
Oh my.
He's a paying customer.
I guess, but like, this dude. He's quite bombastic for a fashion payoff, is all I have to say. Nice. Well, where should we head to first? I know we got a couple ideas from Princess Mila. Edmund Harrogate, I know we need to meet, but I don't know about you, but I'm kind of thirsty. Should we go to the Gilded Mass?
I think just to blend in, we got to go to a bar and get a bottle in our hands and walk around.
Apparently, I'm supposed to try this coffee thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
let's find somewhere that sells this coffee stuff.
I agree. I like coffee. I wonder if it's anything like my hometown blend.
And from Flamongolith?
From Flamongolith, yeah.
What about the stuff from Fashion Fae?
Ah, Fashion Fae. I hear it's good. I haven't had it yet.
Oh, we should have had some when we were just there.
Well, maybe by the time we get back, we'll have some.
Princess Mila, she says, I believe we have a medium roast. That's what we're usually known for. Is that correct? I think it's medium.
It's a medium.
Medium what?
It's medium light roast.
Yeah, medium light roast. We like it on more of the calmer side, which is why I said if it's too acidic, sometimes, well, it warrants a chamber pot.
Yes. My mother always preferred the light roast. We are from the Silverwood after all.
Especially during golden hour, I
Yes.
hear.
That is the time when everyone drinks it. Which is weird because it like would keep you up all night, but she always said it doesn't affect her, so whatever.
Well, I think it's meant to keep you up during your prayers and during your penitential service, right?
Yeah, she only did that like once a week.
Oh, well, you know, good for her at least doing it once a week. I don't think Zill's ever done it, or Belbin, let alone.
Yeah, fair enough.
We've stepped into a church before.
We have, but
Months ago.
Oh man.
Mostly just to keep me out of misery.
Yeah, is that still a thing? Do we need to like rush up on our prayer?
The silence says it all.
No.
no, I remember. I know what you're saying. I remember where there was like a thing where like you have to stay
Panic.
prayerful and whatnot. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm assuming we all every day, every night on the
Well, I do.
Have your
on the
praise
long
prayer
goes
services.
breath. Yeah. We pray that what's his bucket? Azaldun doesn't take us down. Take us to the watery depths. Anyways, where's this place? I guess Yuki will go up to one of the crewmen, an important looking crewman, not just a hoi polloi crewman. And she'll ask, "Excuse me, we're new to town. Would you happen to know where the Golden Mass Tavern is? We could all use a drink."
Oh, what can I do for you? The tavern, you say? Oh, the Golden Mass, that's one of my favorite places in town. Follow me this way. And he, like, without a second word, this is a guy who, he's kind of important, but he looks like he's, like, rigging something up, and he just, like, stops immediately what he's doing. And he begins to walk your way. What he's wearing is he's wearing kind of like these typical sailor's clothes, but one thing that you see is he's not wearing any shoes, so he's just walking barefoot along this way. And the whole time, Princess Mila, she says, she leans up to Belbin and says, Master Belbin, I know that you saved me by swimming under the water, and I also know that on the ship, well, you weren't wearing a shirt that entire time. Do you always go around like this? I only say because this person's not wearing any shoes.
It's a great question. Yeah, this is just how you fit in these days.
Well, would you like something to cover up? The sun is quite harsh today, and she pulls out like a little like scarf shawl out of her bag.
Sure, princess.
And
Well,
she puts
let
it on
me-
your shoulders, and it absolutely doesn't fit. It's like made of silk, and it like falls like over. She's like, good. That'll keep you from getting burned. I've had a wicked sunburn before, and let's just say the peeling, it's unsavory.
I know it's a little tight though, don't you? Like just rip, fit in there a little better. Better.
It's okay. It's okay. It was just my favorite one. As you can see, like a tear begin to like well up in her eyes. She's. It's okay. It's just things, right? And she like puts her head down as you begin to just like she just follows you. She just goes quiet.
Belbin ruined his chance.
can't hide your true self.
So where is the Gilded Mouse?
Yes,
by the way? Hold on.
and
I'm looking at
so
this thing.
as a party, so Alomnia's breath, we're gonna have that docked here. We'll use the first one here, so we'll use Luxalia. You begin to make your way down to the main part of the island, main part of the walkway, and there's this long cobble street, and you can tell that there are a number of stalls. They look like suppliers and resuppliers down this way. And as you look for to your right and to your left, to your right there is basically like a long walkway that goes into kind of like this rocky peninsula, and you can see at the far north of it there's this large lighthouse. And as it stands pretty tall, but it's the only place that you can actually see that doesn't have this giant ring wall. And even during the day, you can see that the lighthouse is still going. But as you look to your left, this large cobble street goes all the way down into what looks to be a market district. And so you continue to follow this person all the way down, and the whole time he's talking to you all, he's just like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you talked to me out of work. Let me tell you, it's a hot one today." And it's probably about like 95 degrees out today. It's pretty hot, especially considering that it's around autumn time. Oh, it's a scorcher. I will say, if my boss says anything about this, I'll just say that I'm guiding people, but man, I deserve a drink.
And Thordain's like, "All right, you are. Thanks for helping us." And he flips him an EC.
And he grabs. He's like, "Ah, thanks, sir. You look to be of quite import. That hat. Are you a captain of sorts?"
"I am the captain of Alomnia's breath. At your service, my name is Thordain." And that's all he says, because he's a man of few words.
"Ah, yes. At your service, my name's Cedric. It's good to meet you." And he puts it into his little coin pouch on the side, the very empty coin pouch. He's like, "Oh, this will buy me a few drinks, I think."
You are a friend of a friend of mine is a friend of our group.
Thordain, you have such a way with words.
I'm just trying something else that I haven't tried before, and that is being charismatic.
Hey,
Like
it's okay. It doesn't matter if you're good with words or not. Your coin says more than words ever could.
I've got plenty of that where that's come from.
Ah, I'm happy to be your friend, Captain.
Me too. I don't have many. And he walks into the tavern.
Yeah, you eventually, as you're walking, you come across, you walk through a little bit of this market square. And you can see a number of vendors, a number of stalls. It is busy. There's hawkers everywhere. There's been a number of people that have tried to approach each of you, trying to pull you towards their stalls. It's kind of a free-for-all in this area. A lot of guests there. It's not primarily just humans. Most of the humans own the stalls, but you can see a mixture of Glyven. You can see some Hiroxin. You see a few Draken. You see very much a plethora of individuals that are in this area. But Cedric, he eventually takes you over to this very kind of... It's like one of the only buildings that are here that are made of, at least the first kind of base of it is made of stone. And it stands pretty tall. It stands next to an even larger wooden structure. But on the sign that hangs, it says the Gilded Mass Tavern. And you can see that the door itself is actually like a ship's door as you open it up, kind of like one of those like circular like port doors, like wooden port doors. You pull it open and you are immediately greeted with a number of people. There's lots of windows in this establishment, so there's lots of light that comes in. Although with that being the case, there are a lot of places and seats where there's kind of like some like dark nooks and crannies, but it is lively as heck in here. There are all kinds of people drinking, cheering, and it is it's very much a port town tavern as you make your way over to the counter.
Yuki goes up to the counter and asks, "Hello, we have made a long journey from abroad. do you have any coffee per se, perchance?
This man turns around. He's kind of broad-shouldered, and he has again one of these like tricorn hats on. He turns around and he looks at you. He's got an eye patch, and he looks closely at you and says, "Oh, winged lady. Yes, we do have some coffee here. We also have many spirits and ale and whatnot." And he lifts his eye patch, and you can see that there's kind of like this like frosted over like eye, and you can see it like moving around separately from like his own eye. And he is kind of like looks at you, and he puts his eye patch down, and he says, "Are you the air conditioner?" As this like just like frost like essence kind of falls off of you as a frost draken. "Ah, that's neither here nor there. Can you produce ice? We've run out of ice."
I mean, I can see what I can do. I don't know. Can I produce ice? Do I know? Is that something I can do?
Not in the sense of like you could just like create ice cubes in your hand, but if you hold
I did
something for
hear-
long enough, it can chill. It can chill
I
whatever you're
did
holding.
hear of a story from the far north area of Everlast where there was this princess who could wield the power of ice, but that's all a long story. I think she died. I don't
Hopefully
know.
not
There's
of an
lots
icy heart.
There was there was lots of music involved. In fact, I'm a bard.
Smooth transition.
So are you here to perform for us? Sing me a song?
I'd like some coffee first, if you don't mind.
Oh, what kind of blend are you looking for?
Well, what kinds do you have?
We have very strong black acidic blend.
Well, I think at least. Well,
Isn't that all?
I'll get.
Don't bother
there's
asking for
nuance
milk.
to it. Well, we'll get around for everyone. How does that sound?
Ethel, she stopped producing a couple nights back. I need to go get her checked.
Well, we'll take your strongest, most acidic blend, sir.
Go to a cow.
I brewed it fresh this morning. It's the afternoon. As he brings it over to you, he plops it down, and it's kind of like this lukewarm, like, black sludge of coffee.
Can you crack me a bottle, buddy, instead?
What are you looking for? We got many kind of spirits. We have rum, of course. How could you travel the seas without that? But we also have some gin over here. We have some whiskey here. We have just here. We have a couple bottles of mead. That seems to we don't get a lot of that every now and then. It's going to cost you a little bit more. But we have our typical ale that we have here at the Gilded Mass Tavern.
If I were to like walk around the city, what would the locals be carrying?
Rum, always the rum.
Take a bottle of rum then.
And he cleans off like this dusty bottle with like a rag that's hanging like on his waist, and he cleans it off, and he uncorks it for you, and he basically places it down in front. That be all. Cup of Joe, some rum. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I ordered a round of coffee for everyone.
Oh, for
This is
everyone.
very kind.
I might have to brew some more.
What goes best with your coffee?
Death.
Diarrhea.
E. coli.
I can promise you, our bathrooms are at least clean here.
Thanks.
You can
I have
splash a
young
rum in
Jack
your
over there
coffee.
swabbing the poop deck, if you know what I'm saying.
Why, he's spry as a sparrow.
We don't get sparrows here. More like larks. We have lots of larks. If you go up to the park, there's actually a nice one up in Hightown, as he just begins to go off about all of this. Next to the school where all of the hoity-toity rich kids go to. There's lots of larks over there.
You know, if you go watch a baseball game, you'll see a lot of larks bunting.
It's true.
I think I've heard about them. They have like a white belly or something, right?
Yeah. They're pretty rad. Their
Don't know
color's
what
pretty
that
rad.
means.
Oh.
Enjoy your coffee as he pushes it forward. You said if there's anything that goes well with this. Well, we have a few things. We have some meats. We have some sausages. We have some. Well, we do have some lamb that can go with this. By the way, none of that goes with it.
What about chocolate?
That's a delicacy. If you wanna have something of that that caliber of taste, check Hightown.
I was
Okay. Thanks.
I was thinking more like, does rum go well with coffee? Does gin go well with coffee?
Everyone puts a little rum in everything that they drink here,
Makes sense.
including the water. Someone said something about dysentery earlier. We're working on it.
Good to know. Stay away from the water.
Perhaps part of the reason we ran out of ice, too.
It's true.
The health
no,
inspector's
sir.
been up my butt about all of this. Got no time for it.
Maybe the health inspector should steer clear of that.
Why do you think our poop deck is swabbed?
Of course.
It's immaculate.
What's your name? What's your name, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, I don't mind at all. The name is Jonas Guild.
Do you have any brothers?
Yeah, 3.
Nice.
I think I've heard of 2 other ones. Or maybe all 3 of them. Are you the non-famous one?
Kevin?
Joe?
You know Kevin.
And Joe?
Do we know each other? You don't look familiar. You're a diverse bunch. Are you fans of my brothers? They travel far and wide as musical bards.
Yeah. I
They're-
think I heard him once.
Pretty good bards.
Yeah.
Let's
They
see if
sing
this one
about
can
the
compete.
Waffle
Sing me a
House.
song. What's your name?
The piano man?
Yeah. Billy Joel.
Yes.
I don't have a brother named Billy.
Well, I don't perform for free.
Coffee's on the house if you perform.
Throw in the rum, too.
For all of
He's
you.
lowballing your performance there, Yuki.
Get him to throw in the rum, too.
How about this? How about the coffee and some information?
Oh. And he takes basically an
rum.
empty glass and he begins to clean it. I'm interested. What kind of information
not-
are you looking for?
We're not here for merely pleasure per se. In fact, we're actually looking for a few people. First person we're looking for is an Edmund Harrogate. You happen to know a man by that name?
Who doesn't in this town know a man by that name? He's the lord of this place.
And I'm assuming we can find him in a high town?
Harrogate Manor. That is, if you have the credentials to visit him. You can only visit him by appointment only.
How do we acquire such a thing?
You're the one seeking his attention. I've never spoken with him.
Who's his secretary?
Excuse you, bless you.
Who's his lady who schedules his appointments?
I don't know how that works.
What is
And
he
if
like?
I did, again, information doesn't come for free. Come, sing for us.
I have one more question first.
She's an angel of music.
Ask.
That I am. Do you happen to know of a family? I don't think they're from here, but the Monteblair family. I hear they're very famous in these parts and in the sea.
He lifts up his
We'll
eye
see.
patch again as he, like, his eye just examines all of you, and he flops it back down, and he's like, "Who's asking?"
Well, I mean, obviously I'm asking.
No, no,
Who
no.
else is asking?
I'm afraid you don't understand me. And he pulls in closer, and he says, "Who is asking?"
Are you the Monteblairs?
No,
Oh,
clearly,
Jonas' brother.
That's right. He's a...
I'm Jonas Guild.
Who's asking some very...
Eclaas.
Yes, Eclaas Eeas. We were sent here to see
Perhaps you've heard of us.
Aldreg Monteblair on some important business from King Nalgoric Cragheim himself.
Make an influence skill check for me.
Oh man, I just screwed that up. I should have mentioned Nalgoric Cragheim.
Also, like,
That's real
Probably
good.
better than.
why are we
Confederate.
asking this rando guy?
Because he's the guy of the bar. He knows everything.
Everyone knows the bartender knows everything.
Yeah. What is this? Influence, he said?
Mm.
18. Ooh. Oh, well.
If you want more information about the Monteblairs, speak with Marla. And he, like, gestures his head over to one of the corners, and you see a lady standing there. She seems to be, like, watching everybody in the bar, like, very, like, narrow-eyed.
Good
Side
to
note,
know.
is Princess Mila with us, or is she still on the
is.
ship changing?
She is still.
Okay.
She is with you. She has been quiet this whole time. She has been basically just observing everything. She grabs the cup of coffee, and as she sniffs, she kind of like grimaces a little bit. And actually, Jonas, he looks down and sees Princess Mila, like, this is not for children. And he plops it down on the table.
Yeah.
And
Here,
she just looks shocked beyond belief that this dude just took her drink from her hands. She's like, I'm not a child. Yeah, right. By the way, don't bring your children in here.
Princess Mila, here, hold this. I'll give her my bottle of rum. You'll fit in better with this.
He just looks like just completely, and he looks to you, Belbin, just like completely askance. It's just, shame
Dude,
on
she's older
you.
than I am. She's older than I am.
She has this magic ring. really
And
keeps
he
us from
he pulls you in
looking
close.
good.
It's like, don't talk about magic items within here. And he like lifts his eye patch, and his eye just goes around and scans the room.
This Mad Eye Moody? Who's this guy?
Bill just like holds his stuff a little tighter.
There's something wrong with you.
well,
You look
maybe-
uncomfortable. The toilets are that way.
It's not really a magic ring. It's like a blessed ring. You know, magic's bad, but it's like a manic ring of mana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can tell you're some priestly lady. Tell me. Tell me about this blessed ring that this child has.
Well, if you put it on every morning in your regular face routine, you'll look younger every day.
He begins laughing. How can I get my old woman one of them?
You watch your tongue.
He just like looks at you like, and begins continuing to clean. So you're gonna sing or what?
I am. Why doesn't the group go and talk to that wonderful Marla lady over in the corner, and I'll entertain. Keep the eyes off of us, as they say.
Yes.
Especially that creepy one.
Yes. Oh God!
You put the ring
Look
on
at
and
that.
you see this guy's eye.
Oh god. So I guess Yuki will go and like get up.
There's
on
a small
the...
little stage that's kind of like up in the middle. There's nobody there performing, and as Yuki, you do approach and you get up on stage. Immediately, you have another people of attention. Someone in the crowd shouts like, "Oi, we got entertainment at last!" And then another one says, "She doesn't look very good. Let's see."
Don't you all have jobs? What? Why are you here?
Make an influence skill check for me, Luxalia.
Oh my god. Judgmental much.
12.
I could ask you the same question. But you're
Don't
right.
mind her.
I
she's
probably
drunk.
should get back
Don't...
to work. You and everyone in here.
You don't want to see me drunk, Belvin.
That was threatening.
Yuki, as this is happening, she does her normal routine. She gives a nice curtsy and bow and introduces herself in a very pompous way, very entertaining way. And she announces herself being coming from the far reaches of the north, the city of Flamongolith, where the white draken live, white draken live,
Silver.
and silver draken live. Sorry, the silver draken live. And she pulls out her harp, and as she strums, like a smoke comes out of it, like an icy smoke, because she just exudes that. And she begins to sing a tale of the country roads back home, and she'll sing, "Mama, West Virginia, Mama." She'll sing country roads, and then as this is
I was
going
thinking
on,
she was
she's
going to sing the tale of Sweetie Todd.
Well, that one. No, she's gonna encourage after like the first couple like choruses go through to get the whole bar singing some country roads with her.
Almost
Heaven,
West Virginia.
West
Virginia? I don't know.
Blue
Somewhere in the
Ridge
west. Shenandoah River. I never heard of that place either.
She's gonna do her best to attempt to get everyone's attention on the performance so that the rest of the party
Make a charm skill check for me.
good at those unless I roll bad.
Unless I roll bad, I'm good at those.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So 7 plus 5. What is that? 14?
14. You hear Thordain.
Oh,
in
no,
the
no,
back.
no, no.
12?
12.
You hear
12.
Thordain
Sorry.
in the back shout, "Everybody, take me home, country roads to the place I belong." Everyone starts
Where's
singing.
Mongolian?
I thought it was Virginia. Where's Virginia again? I don't know. Somewhere in the west. Yeah, Yuki has done a fabulous job of gaining everybody's attention. If
I guess we're
anyone,
going over to Marla, right? Gotta talk to Marla.
Do it.
Yuki's singing.
I'm singing.
She's over in the
So is
corner.
Thordain, apparently.
Marla, have you met my friend Belbin? And I shove Belbin toward her. And then I leave. No.
I don't know. I don't know who
Did
you
just
are.
pull, have you met Ted?
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but
Oh
if your
my.
friend is the one who is providing free entertainment for us, I thank you. And she looks to
Yeah,
Belbin and says, "What can I do for you?"
No, we're not friends necessarily. We're in the same like group, but don't associate us unless you like her. But we were talking to Jonas over there about his brothers.
He always has to mention his brothers, doesn't he?
Dude, that one, I've heard Nick is a cute one, right? But anyway,
I prefer Kevin.
You'd be the first.
yeah, you've got some weird taste there, Marla. But we were talking to Jonas, and he was saying that I don't even know how we got on this topic, but the Montablairs came up. And he was like, "Oh, if you want-"
Her face kind of goes from smirking to just stern.
Yeah, see, that was my response too. But I, he was just saying that if you want to know anything about the Montablairs, that we should be talking to you.
Who's asking?
Eclaas Eeas, have you heard of us? We're kind of famous. We've traveled the world as like, we're like the Jonas Brothers, except we're trying to save the world and we don't sing.
Although Yuki does.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
Yuki
of us
sings
do.
solos though. Sometimes she does covers of the Jonas Brothers, but that's rare. She sticks to.
Baby, it goes and starts to going into one of the big Jonas Brothers hits.
It's hard for her to sing "Burning Up" considering she's all about ice, you know.
You know,
burning up for you, baby. Bah, 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 bah.
Oh,
it's also hard. She doesn't have any brothers to help her, so it's like it's about a third as good as what they can do.
Which is, yeah, it's still pretty good.
Some would say if Kevin went solo, he would bring the house down.
I don't think Kevin could do that.
We have little faith. Anyways, Eclaas, as you say, and as she looks out to see like what's going on, and everybody is very captivated by Yuki, and she kind of nods and she's like, "Follow me." And she opens a door behind her as she ushers all, I guess, Zil, Luxalia, Belbin, and Princess Mila into the room. And she closes the door. It's nice, like the windows are open, and she goes over and she closes the window and latches it. And draws the curtains close, and she gestures down to the table and she says, "Sit."
Can we check it for traps or something first? I'm not sure.
Yeah, do it, Bill. Do it.
Yeah, make a wisdom skill check for me.
She's the mafia of.
You can't trust any natural.
Can I read her like as a person?
19.
Make a focus skill check. So Belbin, as you look around to see if there's anything suspicious, other than her clear ability of wanting to be secretive, you don't notice anything that could be traps. You look for any kind of tripwires. You pull out the chairs. You see if there's anything on the chairs. You look on the table, kind of peer underneath the table and whatnot. It's a pretty simple room. There's not a lot that's going on in here. But it is stone walls all the way around outside of the window and this wooden door that's there. And the whole while you're doing this, she's actually taking a cloth, the tablecloth off the table, and she's kind of rolling it up and putting it in like the door frame, as if to block out any noise or sound or anything. Luxalia, this does seem weird, a little bit weird. You're unsure though if it is necessarily nefarious per se, or if it is just being secrets. The one thing that you've noticed is every time you've brought up something about the Montablair family, it's not a typical subject of conversation that people like to have.
Hey, Marla.
Yes?
Are you, apart from you liking Kevin as the best Jonas brother, what are you
I hired
doing?
his
Like,
other
are you
brother.
just
I kind of
weird?
felt bad for Guild.
Yeah, no, he's a good bartender, I guess.
His eye tends to freak people out, so I told him to put an eye patch on, but he has a habit of showing it to everyone anyway.
Yeah, really quick, what's the story behind that? Did he, like, lose a bet?
Let's just say he lost the bet in life.
It's too bad.
It's too bad.
Why? What are you doing with all the...
Wait, he was Tibetan?
She kind of like squints her eyes at you.
Don't mind her, she's drunk.
So is every other person
Drunk
in
on
here.
life!
Yeah, she can't hold her liquor, so don't worry.
I'm sorry.
Ignore
What were you saying about?
her. What's with your weird behavior with the Kevin and then closing the door and shoving towels to block out sound and closing windows? What's up with the Montablairs?
What do you know about the Monteblair family?
Gosh, I have a bad memory. Not much.
We know that we're meant to meet with them.
Under what circumstances?
They've got a
They
little.
left their key in the mausoleum.
Yeah.
And
Trying.
we need that key to open a treasure chest in the haunted mansion.
Like I said, she's drunk.
You can't deny us that, woman!
Listen, I've heard news of a group of so-called heroes that are traveling the seas and fighting pirates, and if this is you, I need to know that I can trust you.
Oh, you can trust us. Take my word for it. You wanna?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Good job, Velvet.
Just take my word for it.
How about...
Make an influence skill check for me.
Influence. 15.
15.
this?
It's that easy, guys.
Ooh.
I think Yuki has it still.
Yeah. Who has it? Dang it.
Belbin, as you kind of have you kind of right now are alluding like this is business. Like I have no you've been interrogated before, you've done interrogations before. This is something that's not out of the ordinary. But she looks to you and she says, "Well, oddly enough, I feel like I can trust you to a degree. And if you are who you say you are," and she looks at all of your faces and she sees Princess Mila too. And she kind of like hesitates on her for a little bit, but then just continues to speak. The Monteblair family are, they're good people. I don't know why you are looking here for them as they make their residence on Skyspire Island.
Please don't tell me I'm the only one who doesn't know. No, Luxalia, Princess Mila told Luxalia as well
Yeah.
that we're looking for Aldrig. Sorry, I'm not there.
Yeah. I say that.
He was last reported to be seen here. I'm assuming Princess Mila would step up and say that as well. So
She's
been- Yeah.
she's been pretty quiet.
I will step up and say that we're looking for Aldrich or whatever his name is. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aldreg Monteblair, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're looking for him because we were told to find him.
You said Lord Nalgoric Cragheim sent you in this general direction, did you? I guess you said that
We
to
told
Jonas.
Jonas.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Jonas.
told that to Jonas. He's got loose lips though, so he probably told Marla.
In a loose eye.
Tell me, you still haven't informed me about your purpose of searching for him. You may be heroes of the sea, you may be aspiring adventurers in this world, but what is your exact purpose with the Monteblair family?
Told you we need the key.
Yeah, they have a key, and we've got 2 of the keys, and we need that key and one other key, I believe, to open up some deep, dark secrets of the world and cleanse it of them. And yeah, we've already come in.
Yeah.
We've
There's
already
an
come into
archdemon
contact.
that we need to destroy, and we need the keys to make sure that he doesn't like destroy the world. You know.
We've
I
already
mean,
come into contact with a lot of bad people, and we've killed most of them.
This cape is made from a demon wing, so that's fun.
Yeah, you can trust us. Demon wing cape. See that?
Remember that 15 influence check? You can trust us.
All right.
She
I need some sleep.
she looks to you and
Bye, Cole. Have a good one.
See you guys.
Like,
she
Bye.
looks to you
Happy
and
birthday.
as you hold on, let me go ahead and plot.
whoa, did you see that? Luke Sawyer just passed out on the ground.
I need some sleep.
I'm drunk. BT Dub, she hasn't had an ounce of liquor. It's all an act.
But as you continue to speak, she looks to you and she says, "The Monteblair name isn't a name to be randomly spreading. Not only will that endanger yourselves, but it'll draw attention to whatever cause you seek."
You said they were good people, though. We're also looking for Aldridge as well. Do you know him?
It's complicated. Fine. And she sits down and she says, "A few months back, 4 months at this point, there was a storm. It lasted for a couple of days, but it was no ordinary storm per se." And she kind of like looks down at the table. She kind of begins to like trace the grains of the table in her, as if like very, very, very hesitant to say anything at this point.
You need a sip of rum to loosen you up a little bit? You're looking a little tense.
No, I'm working. Stonewall Prison. One of the many things that Folden Rock is known for is we incarcerate many of the bandits, pirates, evildoers that we catch on the sea. No, not in part to the Flortensia, but also the many that do seek to do good here on the waters. We do trial, and we apply justice. A few years back, there was a individual who went as bad as you possibly could have gone. A pirate by the name of Jackman Nobbs. Have you heard of him?
Jackman Nobbs. No?
I
No.
don't think we have.
It's a name to remember, but he's a villainous person. He not only has an insatiable greed and lust for wealth, but even more so, he seeks power over the high seas. I know it's not original, but he's the one and one of the few in recent memory who's had the power to be able to perhaps achieve that goal. There was a great battle, and he was captured and brought to justice. He was in the highest tower of Stonewall Prison, and that night of the storm. It doesn't sound logical, but a lightning strike struck the prison, blowing a hole exactly where his room was. And he escaped along with many of those who were loyal to him. We've done all that we could as far as a city goes to round up and capture those individuals, but they just disappeared that night. Not too long ago, there was word that pirate attacks have become more frequent. I don't know if it's in direct correlation with the escape of Jackman, but the seas aren't as safe as they used to be, and because of that, I do fear that there is a number of ears in the city in search for someone who is important. You know clearly your purpose here is to seek him for this key. That key in the hands of Jackman Nobbs could prove disastrous. And it was not long after his escape that Aldreg Monteblair went missing. Rumor has it that he's come to this city. And many people have heard this. And believe me, you are not the first to come asking about Aldreg Monteblair. Some of them more nefarious than you think. Speak with caution. I don't want our conversation to go public, you see. My establishment is hanging by a thread as it is. With the recent pirate attacks, we haven't had nearly as many travelers. Many of the merchants that have been assailed by the pirate attacks don't have the money to be able to spend. If there's any word that I am drawing unwanted attention towards my bar, I don't want the wrong people to come in and make my life harder, if you understand that.
I understand that. So these other people who have been asking about the Monteblairs, you tell them this same spiel too?
No, dismiss them, clearly. They are, let's just say, not as notorious as you.
They also don't roll 15s on influence, huh?
Influence is not their strong suit, that's for sure.
So if we're trying to find Aldridge, if you were him, where would you be in Folden Rock? Somewhere hiding, I'm guessing.
Aldridge has friends. He has a past, but based off of much more than that, I cannot say. I do not know.
It's like
If you want more information about Aldreg, I recommend that you go and speak to these friends. And she kind of looks around, and she goes over, and there's a flyer that's hanging on the wall. It's a flyer about some special, like, drinks and that kind of stuff. She takes it, and she flips it over. She takes out a pen, and she begins writing. And she writes down 3 names. I cannot give you more than this. But perhaps this will lead you in the right direction. Remember, we did not speak. Thanks to your friend, I don't think anyone has seen us speak. And she passes the note over to you, Belbin.
All right, thanks, Marla. One last question.
Yes.
What's your guys' relationship with Fesh and Faye?
They're good people. Unfortunately, after the break, the prison break, there are more and more people that have come into this town, undercover or even just due to criminal activity, that Well, let's just say they do not appeal kindly to authority, if that makes sense. The people of Folden Rock are much in their debt. Fesh and Faye have been great friends, great trade partners in the past, but there are those who very much seek the downfall of what is good and what is just, and unfortunately, Folden Rock seems to be infiltrated. I do not have the power to keep things safe. I only have the power to keep my establishment running. This is my livelihood we're talking about, and it's unfortunate to see over the deterioration of Folden Rock over the past few months. So much so, and she looks to you and she says, there are many checkpoints that divide High Town, Low Town, the Port District, and the Farmhouse District. Every night, a new law has been instated that those checkpoints are closed. You need special permissions to get from point to point, particular special attention to go into Hightown. There's been new laws in place that you need to be identified. You can walk about Hightown during the day, but 5 p.m. every night you are to be escorted out. The guards are keeping an eye out specifically in Hightown. And everybody that do not have the proper credentials get, well, they are released into the Low Town.
Are there ways to acquire said proper credentials?
There are. If you are of proper import to the Harrogates. I'm assuming you've heard of them.
Not at all.
The Harrogates. Well, this could be your chance. And she points to the paper that she wrote, and you see Edmund Harrogate as the first name on that list. The Harrogates are... Well, let's just say Lord Edmund is a merchant prince. He's the one who helped found Folden Rock. He and many others have established this island and established the channels of trade that we see and very much benefit from today. He is willing to speak to anybody who has a... Well, let's just say has a good business dealing in mind. The more that rumor spreads of people of import in the city, as far as what will benefit the city, the more he'll recognize you. And before long, you will be approached. He has eyes and ears throughout the entire city. And if you have let's just say if you are of import enough, business-wise, with him, he will reach out to you. He will find you. You will not be able to reach him by normal means. Even if you say who you are, heroes of the sea, he has no time for heroes. He only has time for business. And
Sounds like he has time for heroes if this town is going to the thieves. But going back to those thieves for 1 second, would they hurt children or people who looked like children? That
they'll hurt anyone if there's something to be gained out of it.
all right, good to know. Marla.
Okay.
She kind of passes her eyes amongst all of you, and she says, "Is there anything else?"
No, I think we have to go on our way now before it gets too late and we get kicked out of places. Thanks, Marla.
Where's a good place to rest the evening at?
She gestures with her head to the right, and she says, "If you're looking for someone or somewhere to lay your weary head, well, next door, the Salted Anchor Inn is a good place to be able to do so. The curator there, his name is Master Einbert. But again, we do not know each other. Well, I know him. I do not know what words of our meeting spreading, if that makes sense. He tends to be a little bit of, loose in the lips.
So is Luke Saw.
A gossip.
Alrighty. Well, Zil, you want anything else from our girl Marla before she unsoundproofs this room and goes back to her job?
Tell me, I must know. Are there any good smiths around?
Jorn's Anvil is the most notable in town. You'll find him in Lowtown next to the Adventurers Guild.
Anvil? What a good name for a smith.
Jorn's Anvil is the name of the establishment.
Ah!
Yes. The one you are looking for goes by the name Jorn Hammerstrike. It's a nickname, of course.
Name for a smith.
Yes, he's an earthen fairy, and he is relatively new to the city. We've been in need in recent years of somebody who can equip the guard with, weapon enough to be able to keep our city safe, keep our walls protected.
Okay.
How lucrative is this need?
Excuse me, could you explain further?
Zil's thinking about taking residence in Folden Rock, and we're losing him as an adventurer.
If I could provide some assistance to John here, would he compensate me well?
He seems good at his crafts. People rely on him much, but that's a question for him.
Okay. But could be worth pursuing.
If you wish.
One last question, Marla. We saw the lighthouse on the way in.
Yes.
Is that worth
Northwatch?
North Watch? North Light?
Sorry,
What is it?
Northlight, yes.
It's like I know the city better than you. I've only been here a day. Is that worth going to as like a tourist destination? Is there anything there that would be interesting? Any fun rumors about it? Ghosts at night? Scallywag meetings?
Ghosts and scallywags. Why don't you tell me? Clearly you know the city better than I. No, if you do wish to go visit Northwatch, or Northlight, if you do wish to go visit Northlight, there are guards that stay positioned there, as long as you don't prove necessarily untrustworthy. I'm sure they would be able to tell you whatever you're in search for.
Great, thanks.
And
Yes.
one last question.
Speak.
Would you know where I could find the, is there a concentration of orphans on the street? Do you know where they congregate? Do they have a leader?
Fortunately, with Folden Rock being a relatively new city, we haven't had as much of the opportunity to have generations of orphans per se. But again, there are a fair amount of nefarious folk. There's in Lowtown, there is a place that many people tend to steer clear of. There's a good amount of pickpocketing and petty crimes that happen there. I very much recommend for people to stay clear when they do come and visit. It's a place called Rat's Way.
Okay.
And she actually, what she does is she pulls out of her pocket a map, and she begins circling a few places on the map. Rat's Way is going to be right here.
Hold on, I was writing where. Okay. I'm not necessarily
Jordan's
looking
Anvil
for.
is right here.
Excellent.
The Harrogate Manor is up here. And she just kind of briefly labels kind of just the different districts. Yeah.
Not necessarily looking for nefarious folk, but those who maybe struggle by necessity, if you understand the difference.
Yes, I do. Fortunately, Lord Edmund does what he can to be able to help those in need, but there are absolutely those who perhaps struggle by necessity, but more have hoist the struggle upon themselves. If you have places to be able to visit, Lowtown is probably your best bet when it comes to finding many of these folk.
I'm so glad to hear they're mostly taken care of.
For the most part. Again, most of the people here that do live in poverty, they bring it upon themselves. They are people who, let's just say, distance themselves from society by preying upon the innocent, by preying upon those who are unknowing, outskirts of society type folk.
Okay. Okay. Good to know, thank you.
Alrighty, Marla. Excuse me, Martha is another woman in my life. Marla. Thanks for your time. I think we need to probably save our girl Yuki from another round of country roads out there. But you've been very helpful. I'll just take this as I leave, and I'll grab Luxalia's ankle and drag her passed out body out of the door.
And as you all stand up to leave, Princess Mila, she bows to Marla and she says, Princess Marla, it was very nice to meet you. Thank you for your help. And she kind of like scurries back along. That's like the only words that she said during the whole thing. As Marla, she leads you over to the door and basically takes the soundproofing out and opens the door. And as you exit, you see that everybody out in the hallway is now listening to the third Jonas song. And actually, at this point, it is not just Yuki that is singing the Jonas songs, but in fact, Guild Jonas is up there doing his rendition of Jonas Brothers.
Amazing.
Because I'm stepping into the lava. Can't keep up going under.
It's good. In the falsetto as well.
Yep.
I think we'll probably
his
walk
voice
out.
is way down here. It's shocking to say the least.
We'll walk out the door and try to gesture to Yuki like, enough. We got to get going. They're gonna close this town down, and we need to be in Hightown before they do.
Yuki dismisses herself from the stage and says, thank you, everyone. Accepts any tips that were thrown on stage, if any.
Make a charm skill check for me. She's peddling for cash.
Well, you know, it's her. She's exerting
Gotta pay
herself.
Bree the extra 2 EC a day.
True. Charm, you said?
Yeah, charm.
Okay, that's a 15.
15. You get 11 EC.
Yeah.
As you just collect the
Making
coin
bank,
and
baby.
you're on your way.
And yeah, cool.
You make
so
your
what
way-
information did you find out?
We'll tell Yuki everything that we just heard over the past like 20 minutes.
Make a stealth check for me.
Yeah. You don't need to explain. I know.
You said stealth check about
Stealth
this?
check for me. Yep.
Oh
boy.
my gosh.
Well,
You're good at that.
Nat 16 too. For 19.
As soon as you leave,
We are stealthy.
as you make your way just a little bit south towards the inn, the Salted Anchor Inn, you pull Yuki and Thordane into the nearby alley, and you check either way, and you just begin to tell them everything that you heard. At this point, Luxalia, she's like, Oh, what happened? She's like, I feel a little woozy there.
I'll hand her my bottle of rum and say, "This will help."
She takes a sniff. Is like, I'll take the coffee instead. She takes a sip of her coffee. Oh!
Horrid stuff, I know, Luxalia.
I feel some spicy diarrhea coming on.
Apparently the poop deck's nice and clean, so probably use it before we go into town at all.
I'll be right back. She leaves. But after you describe the whole situation. So anyways, the whole situation that you guys just went through, described in full.
I mean, I guess that means we don't necessarily need to look for anyone, more so we need to make ourselves known in the city, I guess, right?
I mean, that's what she said, but if we got Princess Mila, can't we just walk up to the doors of the manor and say we're here on business?
I mean, from what you said, or what the group overall said, he wouldn't necessarily care at all. If he wants to talk to us, he'll come find us.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if we let everyone know that the Princess of Fashion Fae is here, we're going to be getting a lot of unsavory characters.
Oh, I know that. We don't need to say that the Princess of Fashion Fae. We brought her along so she could learn and get some experience, right? Not as a mere tool, means to an ends, right?
I mean, she's a pretty powerful ship to get the high people's attention.
She is also a friend.
That's true. I will say that maybe it's for the best, especially since there are unsavory characters, that we keep her identity sealed. But I think it's good that she tags along to see how this all goes down, and then at the right moment to reveal it. You know?
Should we give her a code name to help with the
yes.
disguise?
A code name. She's piratey looking, isn't she?
Yeah, right now she is.
Thordain
Really
says, why don't we call her Midnight?
Or Lima.
Midnight in Flamongolith. I see. That's a good one.
No, just because if anyone messes with us, it'll be threat level Midnight.
Ah. See. I like it, Thordain. That's why you're our captain.
Indeed.
Okay.
If
Well,
only
I mean,
Luxalia wasn't on the toilet, she'd be able to come up with a fighting name for her real quick.
true. Luxalia is pretty quick with wit, isn't she? Well, I think we should, I guess, do our best. I know, Zill, you said you wanted to go to the blacksmith. While that's going on.
Always.
Well, while that's going on, maybe we should.
Make a knowledge skill check for me, Belbin and Zill.
Knowledge. Man, these
Are you
ones
knowledgeable?
coming in good. I don't think so.
Apparently today
9.
you are, though.
14.
9.
Belbin, there is
Good roll,
something.
bad knowledge.
There is something crumpled up in your hand that you seem to have forgotten
yeah.
about talking about.
Oh, that's because Luxalia was in my other hand, and I
That's
had to
true.
make sure we dragged her out of the bar.
Now she is on the golden throne.
Yeah, but Yuki, I don't think we should be going to the blacksmith. I've got this list right here of Marla gave us a few names of Aldridge's friends that we should talk to get in contact with him so we can find the Montebler family so then we can...
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna find where they are by just sitting here. I think it's good if we explore a little bit and maybe ask around, per se, or do some. Not
Okay,
ask
guys.
around.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna just tell you the names that are on this list, if that's gonna be helpful to you.
No. It's not necessarily that. We don't want to give away our position. We don't want to
I
be suspicious.
get that, but I'm just trying to prompt you guys to look at the list to see the name. Read the list. There's names. There's leads. You guys
Give
have
it
it in your
again.
hands.
Give it again.
Okay, I'll tell you guys. I told you the one name on the list. So the first one is Lord Edmund Harrogate.
Edmund.
Yeah.
Yep. The second one is a person by the name of Pietrick Simeon. And
Name.
Simeon.
the third one is a person that it's just one name on it. Its name is Ricket.
What Belbin has? The rickets.
Belvin
right.
has the rickets.
What's the Rickets? What is this?
It's a disease, right? Rickets a disease, I think.
You don't even know what it is, but Belvin has.
Hold on. This is important.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I
A condition that affects bone development in children. It causes bone pain, poor growth, and soft, weak bones that can lead to bone deformities. Adults can experience a similar condition, which is known as osteomalacia, or soft bones.
It's got soft bones.
I don't think I have that. I've kicked way too many things and punched way too many things. If my bones were soft, they'd be broken.
That's what rickets is. But well, I mean, these names seem interesting at the least. I think we should try to ask around for who these people are and where to find them. Did you ask where we could find them?
I don't think I did. But didn't
Oh
Jonas say we should
my.
go to the manor? Didn't he say go to? Oh, what's its name?
Harrogate
Manor. Yeah.
And get turned away? Didn't you say that we'll get turned away if we go there?
No matter what, we'll find them in Hightown, right? Because these are rich folk for friends of rich folk.
Do we know they're rich? I know we know Edmund is, but what about the others? Like with a name like a Ricket,
Aldrich.
I don't know if that's a. He always got one name, like Cher.
Should we ask someone? Beyonce.
I've
We could go all day.
Well, I mean, it would have been nice if you had asked, Marla where to find them, but I guess. You know what? Yuki goes back into the bar and goes to Jonas and says, "Hey, Jonas, where can we find a man named Ricket? Where can we find a man named?"
in the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they live underwater. Sorry, what can I do for you?
Oh, yes, sorry. Last thing before we go, could you tell us where we could find someone named Ricket and Pietrick Simeon?
What happened to being stealth about these names?
Well, I trust him. He's got a weird eye, but I trust him.
He looks at the eye patch and he looks you close with the sign. Pops it down. He says, "Ugh, what do you want to do with a Ricket?"
What's wrong with Ricket?
Let's just say he's a ne'er-do-well.
Oh,
He
well,
comes in
you know-
here every now and then asking for a free drink. I always turn him away.
Did you ask him to sing?
Have you heard him try to sing? His cover of my brother's songs is an assault to the senses. Trust me, he's done everything to try to get a free drink.
Well, I think seems like an interesting person. Where does he usually lie about? On Folden Rock.
Try Lowtown.
Lowtown, okay. And Pietrick.
Pietrick. Oh, the fisherman.
Ah, fisherman. I see.
Yes, he, oftentimes you can find him, and he thinks about it for, a second. When he's not out, on the harbor fishing. Yes, that's right. He usually is, he's usually at the Adventurers Guild.
Ah, Adventurers Guild. I see. Well, thank you for helping us. And Thordane says, "Yes, you have been quite helpful," and flips him easy.
I've got
He catches it and completely misses it. His depth perception is clearly way off. He reaches up, he fumbles, and it falls onto the ground. Oh, sorry about that. He takes a look at it and he's just like, puts it into his coin pouch. Now, that's what I'm talking about. We need more tippers around here.
I've got a plan to maybe get us some information. I'll catch up with y'all.
Oh, okay, Zill. Be careful. I mean, I know you can handle yourself, but we'll be. I mean, are you going to Lowtown, Hightown? At least let us know where you're going.
I'll be in Lowtown.
Okay. Well,
Got some
I mean,
leads I want to follow.
I see. Do you want to send anyone with him?
I think this one is best by myself.
You hear a couple squeaks.
And Waffle.
Waffle can accompany me, as always.
There you go. Well, Yuki wants to go down to the docks then, if she can, to see any fishing.
We gotta go see Pietrick. All right, Zill, have a good time blacksmithing. We'll see you later. I guess.
For once, this isn't where I'm going.
Sure,
If I've got
Sure,
some extra
Jill.
time, I'll make it there. But
Sure, Zill. I have a great time. We'll see you in a little bit. Don't overdo it.
You hear the door slam, and all of a sudden you see Luxalia come out of the bathroom. He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad they had a can of Febreze in there." So what's the plan?
Well, we're going to the docks to meet a man named Pietrick. Zill's going on a secret mission to go blacksmithing.
not this time.
Sure,
For
Zill.
once.
Sure.
For once.
Have fun with
Have
that,
a good-
Zill. I want a nice sea breeze. That was actually the name of the Febreze that was in there, was Sea Breeze.
Oh, sounds nice. Well, but Zill wants to do this alone, so I think we should all go see Pietrick while Zill does his thing. Zill, we'll be by the docks, okay?
Who's Pietrick?
He's a dude. He's a fisherman that we need to talk to.
Are you hungry or something?
You can just stay in the bar if you want, Luxalia. You can.
No, it's
drink
okay.
yourself.
I told you, fresh air is really good for the soul.
Okay, well, just come along and be quiet.
How rude! But I will come along. I'll make sure Princess Mila's taken care of.
Don't know. So, her name's Midnight now.
Yeah, midnight. Midnight, Luxalia.
I'll make sure Midnight is taken care of. Princess Mila's like, it's okay. It's kind of a strange name. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the
Speaking of
docks.
midnight. Okay, yeah. Okay, who's going first?
Let's go with Zill really quickly. I'm curious to see what he's doing.
Me too.
So, Zilla's gonna make his way to Rat's Way.
Okay.
But,
Ask for rickets. See if someone will give you a
what he's
rickets.
gonna do is first kind of put a cloak over everything, try to position like his axe downward and stuff so you can't really tell what it is. But
He's got a
have a
wide
pouch.
But you can see the big demon wing on his back still. So.
But as a pouch of 5 EC, like hanging obviously outside all of it. And he's gonna do this right before he enters Rat's Way.
Are you catfishing people? What is going on?
Oh, he's a rat fishing. Okay, so Zill, as you all begin to depart ways, Yuki, Belbin, Luxalia, Thordane, and Mila go to the docks, but Zill, you part ways as you start to make. We'll do this. We'll go this way. Zill, you begin to make your way towards the first checkpoint, the gate that leads into Lowtown. As you go into and you pass through this archway, the gates are wide open. You look around and catch your bearings, and you see that like this place is still really nice. Chances are, however, that it gets its name from something else. I'm gonna have you make a focus skill check.
12.
You follow the pathway with your eyes up along the main path here. And you can see that between Lowtown and Hightown, there's actually a stark difference in elevation of these places. Hightown seems to be on like about 20 feet lifted on a kind of like an elevated part of the island. It is divided by what looks to be a small river that goes down the middle of the island. So Lowtown most likely gets its name from that specifically. And you look around and like, especially compared to like the slums of Helix, like this place is actually really nice. The construction, probably most of these homes are probably no older than 20-30 years in age, and everything is pretty well maintained. The streets are pretty well kept. There's a number of kind of like lantern places where it's not quite dark yet or even getting dark. It's probably around 3 to 4 p.m. And they haven't quite gone on yet, but they kind of are like these nice kind of like oil lamps with like these kind of like glass containers to keep things well lit. But you make your way over to the area which is Rat's Way, which is, it's actually quite confusing because you are like remembering from the map. Oh, who has the map, by the way? That was given to you.
Not me.
Who took it originally? That was Thordain, right?
Thordain wasn't with you.
Did I?
We'll just say Zill
Would I
has
have
the map.
asked for
Zill,
the
you're
map?
following
Yeah.
the map.
I asked for the map.
Yeah, Zill has the map, and he's following it, and he takes a left down kind of at the first juncture of what looks to be a very residential district. As you kind of saunter down the alley, you can see that it's there's like homes on either side. It's not quite gated communities, but you can see that there are a number of like pretty like finely kept manicured lawns. But as you continue to make your way south, you find yourself in a little kind of like a courtyard area, like a larger space, kind of more of a communal area. And you can see that there are a number of what look to be discarded crates and whatnot. And this place gets its name from the rats that are in the area. I'm going to have you, as you have this coin dangling out of your coat, out of your cloak, I'm going to have you make an influence skill check to me.
And he is paying very. Oh no, it's a nat 1.
You have a thing to use if you need it, right? Don't you?
I don't think so. I used it.
Oh,
last
you
time.
used it, Zill. Okay.
Zill is paying close attention to this, like looking out for pickpockets.
There are a number
But I
of
did
people that
roll
are
that
here.
one.
Some of the people that are just kind of like leaning against like the barrels and crates and whatnot. You actually see some people going through and kind of sifting through it. It's kind of like the dump area of like this town, it seems like, or at least like this trash is waiting to be picked up or whatever the case. But as you walk through, you walk with like very obvious with this coin pouch hanging out, and you begin to start saying, "Oh, I hope nobody sees this coin pouch that I have dangling on my hip." Natural one influence. Oh, it would be a shame if I lost this. As you kind of like circle your way around, your eyes meet with each of the people, and they just kind of like look at you, and like their eyes cast down. Is there any specific person that you want to address? So there's 3 individuals that you see. One person is in kind of like more of like a regular commoner's clothing. They have kind of like a not a hood, but like a cowl kind of drawn over themselves, and they seem to be going through like with like a pen and like marking something like on a piece of paper. There's another person that, like I said, is like digging through some of like the crates. And there's another person who just kind of looks like they're walking, but as you come through, they kind of just like stop and like look at you.
Okay. I'll go up and talk to them, but I make like small talk.
To which one
But what
in
I'm-
particular?
The one with the cowl.
Okay. As you approach,
as
you
I'm
realize that
making
this is
small
a
talk-
woman who you're
Okay.
speaking to.
So I just make general small talk, not really about anything in particular. Because what I'm looking for and on like the watch for is if there's any kids trying to pickpocket. I'm specifically looking for children thieves.
Make a
Children, you want some candy?
focus skill check for me.
So I'm just trying to look distracted. Ooh, dirty 16.
Dirty 16. You don't see any children per se. The one thing that does come to mind as you're doing it is it might be better to wait until it gets darker. During the middle of the day is probably not the best chance, especially because it's not particularly crowded here, for a chance to get pickpocketed.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna go waste some time at the blacksmith.
Yeah, it's not that far away. You exit Arat's Way and you make your way over to the Jordan's Anvil. And actually, the one thing that's quite interesting about this place is it's a shop with this enormous wooden anvil on top, and like with this giant sign that says Jordan's Anvil written on the side of it. And you kind of follow this pathway up into this kind of city square. There are a number of large buildings that surround this area, Jordan's Anvil being one, and it definitely looks like the newest of the buildings. Kind of at the furthest west end of, or eastern end of this, you can see that there is a pretty large establishment that is the Adventurers Guild. And so you see that there, and then there's a really tall tower just a little bit to the south of your location that stands up. Looks to be some kind of watchtower of sorts, and you can actually see that there are like some guards that are looking out at basically what's going on kind of in the city center. And then there is directly to the north of you a small market street where there's a number of vendors, and for some reason you can swear that like you see someone selling like a snake or something, like something real weird, like it's just and
What?
you can see a waffle. You can feel waffle cringe as that's the case. But yeah, you make your way over to Jordan's Anvil. But before we do in any role play of that, let's go ahead and jump back over to Yuki, Belbin, and the rest of that crew. So you make your way down into the dock district. So I have a question. There's the docks, the ports are really big. So there's like a place where there's kind of like some smaller boats that are here. The more commercial boats are over here. This is something you most likely would have noticed as you walked this kind of long stretch. And then there's also Northlight as well that you can go check out. Is there any place in particular that you want to go?
Well, I mean,
like-
we're looking for dude fishing, right? We probably
He's a
should have asked.
fisherman. He's
Yeah,
a
we probably-
fisherman, but let's go to the smaller docks. Ask if anyone's seen Pietrick around.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, perfect. The group of you make your way down onto the docks, and there's a number of people. This definitely seems like less commercial and more kind of like personal, like boats and fishermen. As you can see, a number of them are beginning to unload some of these kind of fishermen, the catch of the day, essentially, as they begin to get packaged up and transported to wherever it needs to go. You find a number of people that you could potentially ask. You can pull anybody aside to be able to do it.
Are there any in particular fisherman-looking folk?
Everybody here is fisherman-looking folk. But as far as like, are you looking, I guess, more specifically towards like a like people who are by themselves, people who are in groups? Are you looking for people with kind of like some of like the bigger fishing boats, or are you looking for people that have kind of like this small like one-person fishing boats? What are you looking for here?
I want to find someone who's. Is there anyone actually fishing off the dock?
Yeah,
Or is
there's
it
actually
just-
a couple people that are just like sitting on the dock with poles out.
Yeah,
and they're
they
fishing.
got nothing better to do. Let's go
Mhm.
talk to them. They're waiting for fish to bite.
They are
Sounds
waiting
good.
for fish to
And
bite.
so we'll walk over. Is Luxalia still having the swapping the poop decks, they say?
Oh no, she came back out.
Okay, good.
She's with you.
That coffee blew right through her. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, she's getting some sea breeze Febreze right now. Airing herself out.
Nice.
You do make your way up. There's one person in particular who just seems to be enjoying. They have a bottle of rum right next to them as they have their line cast. He doesn't have shoes on, but he is dressed in actually pretty nice seafarer's clothing. He's kind of like an overcoat and like some like pretty clean kind of like knickers and like a pretty like fancy tie. He has his hat off and it's to the side, and it's on top of what looks to be like a sword that has been taken off and laid to his side. But he's just sitting there fishing. He's kind of got like some black hair with like little streaks of gray in it, and he's just humming to himself.
We'll walk up. I'll get the bottle of rum back from Princess and hold it out and say, "Cheers, mate. How the fish biting?"
Ooh. Aye, welcome. Have a seat, have a seat. Do you have a fisher pole of yourself? Oh, it doesn't look like it here. And he pulls out of, basically from behind him, he grabs a fisher's pole. Always welcome to have the company.
I appreciate it, man, but have you seen Pietrick around? We're supposed to help fix his boat.
Patrick, good lad. He's been away for quite some time, but he did come back to visit, let's just say a week ago. He's spending most of his time down at the Adventurers Guild these days. I saw him out early this morning fishing on a boat. Probably, and he points down, give or take 2 or 3 miles that way. His boat is over there, and you take a look and you see basically like a small little dinghy. This is very much like a one-person boat. What business do you have, Pete, with Pietrick?
We were just looking to fix his boat, but it looks like it might already be fixed.
Aye.
So maybe we just need to find him and catch up.
There was a large storm a few months back.
Right. He was telling us about that and how his boat may have taken damage, but it sounds like he got it all figured out. So, thanks. We gotta go.
Wait before you go, and he hands you his bottle of rum. It's like, please have a sit. Join me for a few fish.
I'll cast out once or twice.
You do. I'm gonna have you make just a straight agility check for me.
Straight agility.
Oh man, the best part of any
16.
RPG, the fishing. It is peak content, is all I have to say. By the way, Azil, I don't know if you saw, Kami gave you a blessing.
You're blessed.
I did not see that. Thank you,
She gave you a
Kami.
blessing.
Huzzah! I need it.
Belvin.
Sorry, I wasn't
So-
looking at the chat.
Agility skill check. Survival check. But yeah.
Oh, I already did it. I got a unnatural 16. Sorry.
A natural 16. You cast it out almost as if it's second nature. The real kerplunks in, and he begins to chat with you as within a minute you feel a tug on your line. Aye, the fish are biting, aren't they? Reel her in, don't you think? You begin to reel in, and I'm gonna have you make a physical skill check for me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very good at.
I think you're
I've never
really good
fished
at
before
physical.
in my life. I don't think so, but I'm good at physical. That's for sure. 21.
21. You begin to pull, and the line goes taut, and this is a big fish. As you begin to pull it in, he's like, "Aye, steady, steady." As he kind of like stands up and he puts his like line down. He has kind of like this little place that he keeps it propped up. I have been searching for the legendary blue marlin. Perhaps this could be. As he kind of like squats behind you as he like looks at to see, and he's kind of like teaching you how to fish. I can see this is your first time, but you're
Guide me,
strong.
brother. Guide me, mate. Guide
Aye.
me.
Now,
Be my
careful
eyes.
now, careful now. As you begin to pull, like it's a very, very heavy and strong pull.
Gotta let him play, though.
Gotta let him play, exactly. And you begin to reel it in, and he tells you, all right, enough of that. Make a dexterity skill check for me.
Yar.
I'm
Not as
assuming
good.
Mila's throwing in her yars as well, practicing her pirate.
Yar, matey. You
12, you
scallywags.
scallywag.
12.
12.
You let it go for a little bit, and as the fish begins to make its way kind of over to more towards the line of this elderly man, and he's like, now you got her. Now you got her. Grab her, reel her in.
Grab her, I'm going.
Make another physical skill check. Why, this is a mighty beast.
I'm losing strength. I rolled a 10.
It's okay. Let her give. Make a dexterity skill check.
That's leaving me too. A 7.
As
This one might
as
get
you-
away.
It's coming
Yuki's
in.
gonna help. Yuki's gonna go over and.
Aye, lass, let him do it himself. This is his first big trophy.
Oh, okay. I want to help my friends.
Some things you can't help with there, Yuki.
Yar.
You can pass me a drink of the rum.
All right. Yuki takes it and pours a little into his mouth.
Let's me whistle.
As you
Does
begin,
so good.
as you begin to reel it in, it's so close. You just need one more strength skill check, and it needs to exceed a 12 in order to get it in. So go ahead and make your strength skill check. This is a big fish.
It's a 10.
Oh!
The line snaps as it goes away, and he puts his this guy. He puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, you know, I would have been very impressed if you were able to reel that in. Clearly, someone as inexperienced as you has come to a master to be able to help. I can show you a thing or two if you want to come down by the docks every now and then.
We'll see, but for now I got to walk the plank. So
He kind of looks at you confused. Aye, you do that. He sits down, he takes a swing of his. By the way, Old Man Carrick, if you're asking. That's
Old
the
Man
name.
Carrick. Old Man Belbin is my name, if you're asking.
Aye. See you later. Hopefully you walk the plank not in shark-infested waters.
I don't plan to meet Davy Jones anytime soon. So
Good to know. The invitation is open as he just sits there
Alright.
on his deck, on the deck doing his thing.
sorry guys, got a little carried away there. I think we should make our way to the Adventurers Guild though, huh?
It's okay. You've just been losing a lot lately, haven't you, Belbin?
It keeps the ego in check.
Okay. Well, let's go over to Pietric, I guess.
Yeah, Adventurers Guild. That's now that our old man Carrick said that, I remembered. That's where usually.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
Marla or
oh, is that what she
Jonah,
said?
someone said, yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there to be able to remind you of such things, but I wasn't.
Yep. That's all right. Shall we go?
Yes!
It's okay, you learned a lesson or two about the sea.
Gain some
All right.
experience fishing.
I just can picture it. It's just like going asking questions. Bella's just like, just hold my beer. Let me just
Hold my rum.
hold my rum.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
you
God.
guys make your way in kind of like a similar direction to where Zill. You pass through the gates and you find yourself in a very similar, like pretty clean area. You notice that as you make your way up towards, you don't duck into the Rat's Way, but you make your way up to the market. And all of you begin to wage your way through. As you can see that very clearly the Dented Helm Adventurers Guild is just in front of you. You see Jorn's anvil as well, and you see Zill actually at this point is very much, he's just kind of started chatting with whoever is there. But before we get to that, Belbin, Yuki, I'm going to have the two of you make wisdom skill checks for me.
Wisdom.
7.
8.
No. Can Thornade make one too?
Sure.
5.
Thornton, the knowledgeable one of the group.
You wade your way through this market, and you have a very clear destination in mind, which is the Dented Helm Adventurers Guild. You see like a couple curiosities that are there. This market doesn't seem quite as well put together as the market that's at the port. Definitely the stuff that is in this market are oddities, that's for sure. You do see the snake. You see the snake that Zill had seen earlier, and just like some kind of like exotic pets and stuff are being sold here. But eventually you make your way through, and you walk up to the front doors of the Adventurers Guild. You see Zill very much just chatting, and you make your way inside. But before we turn to that, let's go back to Zill.
Excellent.
Okay. So, Zill, you find yourself in a very, very hot, like I said, it's like 95 degrees. It's maybe cooled off to like 92 degrees here. But as you make your way inside this blacksmith, it's kind of like an open storefront. You can just feel the heat of the forge as you're and just like some hammering away. There are a few people that are looking at wares, but you see an earthen fairy very much at work, and he's banging away on what looks to be some kind of like war hammer, using a hammer to make a hammer. And he doesn't seem distracted
Classic.
at all as you make your way into the forge. He's like, "Welcome, welcome. What can I do for you?"
Ah, you must be Yorn.
Oi, who's asking?
My name's Zill. I come from Helix the long way round. And well, I've got some time to kill till this evening, and figured see if you need any assistance, or if I could tinker at a spare anvil of yours.
You find yourself trained in the blacksmithing arts, do you?
Take a look for yourself. And
I
just-
see a coin of 5 EC dangling from your... You're just asking to be pickpocketed, my friend.
Oh, that's a different adventure of today. But
Aye.
just open up the cloak to show my armor and pull out my hand axe, my Draken-made Damascus hand axes.
He finishes up what he's doing, and he like takes a moment as he kind of walks over to you, and he just like he's a stout fellow, but he is a man of pure brawn and muscle. As he looks at you, he says, "Did you make this yourself?"
I did.
Oh.
I
And he
studied
begins
under
just
the
like
Drakensmith.
examining you. He takes one of the axes out of your hand, and he's just like, "What kind of forgery is this?" Oh, he just is doing his thing, examining.
I've studied under the Drakensmiths. I've spent not as much time, but a few days with some elven smiths. I hope one day to make it up to the Refinium Peaks. I'm actually hoping to make something like this and take out the battle axe, or whatever that thing's called now.
Mhm.
Yeah, battle axe. But Refinium.
Oh,
That's the goal. That's what I'm working towards.
very few smiths are able to work refinium. You need a very, very special kind of forge here. Unfortunately, not one that I have here in my forge.
That's okay. Maybe I can at least offer my assistance to hone my craft and make it worth both our time.
You made these.
I did. Like I said, the Draken style adds a little oomph that you might not find here. That I heard you were outfitting the defenses of the island.
I make
They could
weapons
probably-
and armor. And he shows you basically like all of his wares that he has. My craft is in the earthen fairy craft of well, Earthshea or Earthshea crafting, and he shows you that there are like a number of kind of like these like runes that are like etched into the armor, and he shows you like there's like this one set of plate armor that's like front and center, as he says. He's like, now this here is my greatest creation. I'm gonna have you make a knowledge skill check for me, so, and you could do this with hope.
Oof, hope didn't help, but I rolled okay. 11?
This is a plate armor, and it is outfitted for someone who is of a medium size, so someone like probably wouldn't fit a fairy, essentially. But what this is that as you examine it, you can see that it's been tempered in quite a unique way, a way that you've never seen before. However, as you kind of examine it, you can see that there's kind of like almost like this like thick durability to it. Essentially, the Earthshea, they have a way of blacksmithing, armor being blacksmithing, that grants an additional DV to their armor. So they're like very much skilled armorers as far as that goes. But you see this in a number of his ironworks that he does. But this one in particular is a Damascus plate armor. I'm gonna have you make an elemental skill check for me.
Oh dear. That's a nat 1. Ugh.
You have a thing that Kami gave you.
I know, but I don't want to use it yet because I've got a different plan.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I've got a plan. I'm just killing time.
This is very finely crafted. Clearly, this is the like the centerpiece of this. Behind basically glass, and it's just it's beautiful. Hey, what do you think?
Gorgeous. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of my armor here, but it puts this piece to shame. Excellent craftsmanship. Just excellent.
You're one with a good eye. I actually, and he begins to talk more about it. I actually, not too long ago, I had it enchanted. There was a few priests that I had pray over it, and they say that it provides extra protection. I have no idea, but they say those who wear it are bound to receive extra boons in battle.
Are you willing to part with it?
Many people do venture to Bjorn's anvil just for this, or Jorn's anvil just for this, just to lay their eyes upon my beautiful creation, but for the right price.
Well, would you be able to modify a set of armor into something like this?
Depends on what we're working with. What materials are we having?
Because, I mean, I present 2 options to you. Option 1, you help me upgrade this armor I'm wearing to that craftsmanship, or I propose a trade. My armor, which is already Damascus, plate, same kind, same size-ish. That way, you wouldn't have to start from scratch. Plus, a little extra, because obviously, these are not of equal value. Those are the 2 options I present to you.
Well, I'm going to have you make an influence skill check for me as you show off your armor and as he examines it and the craftsmanship that you've made.
Dirty 16.
My armor, it is a masterpiece. As I said, the pinnacle of my skills as a blacksmith, as an armorer. But yours, you made this yourself, did you?
I did.
You're quite skilled at what you do.
Thank you.
I could not let go of my armor for more than 5,000 EC. But if we could trade, I could let it go for 1,000 EC.
That's so expensive. Do you have that money?
I actually do.
Oh, are you tempted? Oh my gosh.
That's about all I have.
Oh,
Like that would be almost everything.
oh my gosh.
Including
So
the
it would
dangling
be-
5 EC pouch.
No, I've got enough because 1 EP is 10 EC, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'd have a little left over.
Here's my question though. Is it worth it?
So it would raise my DV 1.
Yeah, so it's a +3 armor, so it's a +4 armor. It'd be like wearing a Refinium because it's Earthen Fairy made. And it has a potential
is
enchantment
Damascus
on it
supposed to
too.
be +3?
Or +2? Yeah, +2. Sorry.
Damascus
So it'd be
is
a
+2.
it would be a +3 armor. So it'd be like
+3
Refinium.
with an enchantment.
You won't know what the enchantment is until you've
Yeah.
discovered it and had it appraised by the appropriate person. But
You turn into an earthen fairy. Is what happens.
yeah, you become short. You shrink.
He takes off the
Oh,
armor, and then
gosh.
suddenly he's a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
Oh, that's tough. This is tough. You drive a hard bargain. But this armor I'm wearing is bit through a lot. It's
So should I reduce the price of it then?
no. You could probably actually use it to your advantage to sell it for more. It's been in
Explain.
battles with archdemons. This armor has
Do you have
helped
any
shape-
certificates of authentication that would prove such
I mean,
a thing? There
just-
are many swindlers here that would sell things saying, oh, just over there, someone claims that they have a snake that they rescued all the way from the southern Amazon forest.
Just the wing of.
I don't even know what
Burbledown
Amazon is.
himself. Just the wing of Burbledown himself. That is my cape.
Are you
That I
willing to
ripped
sell
off
that
him.
too?
No, absolutely not. But I claimed this wing myself, wearing this armor.
For just one big ass crow.
Could a big ass crow do this and the feathers just all kind of stick up and then go back down?
You've proven your point.
And it's the sage. It's got the Eclaas logo engraved. This sigil is that of my friends and I, who are on a mission to save the world, hopefully.
Make an influence skill check for me.
We're on a mission from God.
That is a 21.
Believe it or not, I've heard of your group. You said Eclaas, have you?
I did.
My cousin is from Helix.
Ah, good man, good man.
He said that you did them a good favor. There was a
Yes.
Jabberwocky
Jabberwock.
that ran amok.
That's what got me started on this life.
Fine. If you trade this armor piece in, I can sell this to you for 750 EC.
Oh, that was more than I was going.
What kind of breastplate do you have again?
I've got a Damascus plate.
Forgot about that.
Consider it a deal. That's so much money.
Now you're poor again.
That's a
Welcome
lot
to
of
the
money.
club. Welcome to the club.
Oh God, I still have 225 AC. It's fine.
He
Still more
removes
than
he
me.
removes the case, and he picks up the armor and he says, "May I?"
Yes.
You remove your armor and he puts it on you, and you immediately feel kind of like almost like this, like just like sheer cold that begins to cling to you, which actually feels quite good considering how hot this forge is. And then all of a sudden, like it just like feels normal to you. I'm gonna have you make an elemental skill check for me.
Oh,
I'm not good at this.
you got a cursed armor piece as well. You
Dirty
got shafted.
16.
Dirty 16. This is not cursed. If anything,
Oh, good.
this feels quite blessed. Unsure of what this energy is, you can tell that it is manic by nature and not voided.
Amazing.
It speaks blacksmith. Or Zill speaks blacksmith. I thought you meant the armor. The armor speaks
No.
blacksmith. It's whispering to
Zill
you.
speaks blacksmith.
It's very
He doesn't speak much else.
It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise, and if you ever need I don't know how long we'll be in town, but if I've got some time to kill, I might stop by and... You specialize in armor.
Aye.
The Draken, well, does make more durable armor. Not more defensive, just more durable. Their weapons add a particular punch, so if you need to fill some special orders, I'll be happy to lend a hand.
I'll keep that in mind. The name is Jordan, and he holds out his
Zill.
hand at your service.
Pleasure to meet you, John.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Belbin, Yuki, Thordain, and Luxalia as you make your way into the Adventurers Guild.
Do we see Zill?
Yeah, you saw him just talking with him before you make your way in. The deal hasn't been made.
Okay. Well, I guess, unless you object, Belbin, go up to the counter. That's
Yeah, you gotta hit up the bartender and be like, "Hey, have you seen Pietrick around here?"
You do so. And you see kind of like this very jovial man. He looks later in years, probably a few years older than Belbin, but he has this giant scar that runs down the side of his face and actually goes down into like his chest. He has kind of like these basically pauldrons that he has on, the completely armored. As he is, and he has this giant like claymore strapped to the back of his back. But he looks to you and he says, "Oi, what can I do for you?"
No. Looks like you've seen some stuff and
Perhaps you've heard of me, Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Grim. Can't say that I have, Thaddeus.
That's a shame. Well, I'm kind of a local legend around here. I used to spend some time traversing the seas, ridding it of pirates and whatnot. I used to, well, let's just say I used to be on board of the Flortensia. Have you heard it?
Heard it. We've ridden it.
Yeah, Gunter is our good buddy, is our good friend.
Well, I remember when he was just a wee lad. How is he these days? Stronger than ever, I can assume.
Better than ever. Yeah.
Still looking for his Eildun.
Yep. You whatever you picture, multiply it by like 6. That's how he's doing.
Well, he owes me a debt. I'm
think he
much
does.
prettier because of him.
All right. Well, that's great. Maybe you've heard of us. Have you heard of Eclaas? Instead of local legend, we're kind of a national, worldly legend.
Huh.
Eclaas.
Sir Emmerich has sent word that there was a group of adventurers that were making their bouts around the Great Peninsula.
Probably us. Yep. No, we were around the Great Peninsula.
Well, welcome. Any adventurers that are out there seeking for a little bit of extra coin, treasure, glory, well, the Folden Rock Adventurers Guild is at your service.
Well, what about a name? Can you help us with a name?
Anything that I can do for fellow adventurers.
All right, perfect. We're looking for a fella named Pietrick. We heard that he comes around here. He's been around here often. Is he here now? Is he, you know where he is, Thaddeus?
The local bruiser. Yes. And he
man.
looks around, and you see that this place isn't nearly as full as the Adventurers Guild in Helix. There's a few people here and there. Everybody armored to whatever degree. But you see sitting at a table, looking like he is reading something, there is kind of like a big burly-looking dude. He has very similar kind of looking hand wraps that Belbin is used to, as he just begins, as he is reading, and he's looking down, like very contemplative. He's like, Pietrick, that's your man over there. He's a good fellow.
Great. Thanks, Thaddeus. What's he drinking?
Now that is a good question. He likes a little bit of scotch on the rocks.
All right, good to know. I'm not getting a scotch right now, but maybe later.
I'll hold you to that.
I think
Sounds
what
expensive.
Belbin likes. I think what Belbin means to say is, does he like rum?
Who doesn't like rum? You're in Folden Rock.
Yuki,
Yeah,
you're
just
asking
be-
some bad
just-
questions.
Just be more direct, Belbin, next time. Don't beat around the bush.
And you hear excuse me, do you have tea? Princess Mila, with her coffee taken away from her, she's quite parched. Oh, look at you, Eclaas. Yes, we do have some tea. What are you thinking? And he pulls out kind of like some random loose leaf. It does not look well stocked at all, but Princess Mila, she picks out what she wants as you make your way over to this table where Pietrick is seated.
Luke Sully is gonna let her drink that garbage tea.
Looks like he's like, oh, this tea sounds good. She's also looking. Do you have silver leaf tea? We had that in Fashion Fae. You can tell that Thaddeus he's like, I've never heard of it. If you want something stronger, you can add a little bit of this to it. And he like puts over like some alcohol, and she's like, excuse me, sir. I'll just have the tea.
Yuki, why don't you go and try to seduce Pietrick? He's a little bigger than I was expecting.
Wait, Belbin, are you telling me you're afraid of him? You, the great Belbin? Never afraid of anything?
I've seen this type before, Yuki, and sometimes a woman's touch goes a long way.
I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm not gonna touch no one, but I mean, we have to talk to him, so yes.
Just
I
soften
guess
him
you-
up. We can do a good cop, bad cop sort of thing if you want, but if you just go and start making some eyes at him,
I don't think
you
we're
know-
interrogating him. Okay, all right, Belbin.
I don't know what to expect, but you need to be discreet about it. We're in the
Discreet about what?
Adventurers Guild.
Yeah,
What you
so
want.
wouldn't that mean he's a good guy? I
Uh-huh.
don't think you have to worry about him. He looks honorable enough.
Yuki, I've seen this before. Just be careful.
Okay, all right. I'll take that into account.
You know
Belbin.
who's with us, and you know we already heard that bad guys hurt good little kids.
Do you think he's gonna punch Lady Princess Mila?
No, midnight.
Oh, midnight. Sorry. I don't
What's
want
the threat
want
level right now?
Yeah, I don't want a threat level midnight. Okay, all right. I'll be careful. I promise, Belbin. What are
Be
you
on your
speaking
best.
sense all of a sudden? I don't understand this.
This
You just
I know towns like this, Yuki.
Oh, okay. I'll take that into account. Thank you, Belvin. All right. And Yuki walks over to Pietrick and sits down across from him.
He looks up from what he's reading and says, "Hi, can I help you?"
Ah, hi. Would you happen to be Patrick Simeon.
That is my name, and yes, that name belongs to me.
Oh, well, I hear you're a wonderful fisherman in this city.
Who told you that?
I heard it from a friend.
No.
Couldn't be more cryptic than that, but what can I do for you?
Old man
Well,
Carrick.
Old man Carrick.
Really?
Down at the docks.
You spoke with the dock master.
Oh, he's the dock master. He tried to give my friend a fishing lesson, and he didn't do a great job. Well, he's my friend. He lost the fish, but it seems like you're quite the fisherman yourself, from what he says.
I used to be. That was a lifetime behind me. Things are quite different these days. And with that, we are going to end our session.
Oh, I was ready. Okay, that was good. That's good timing.
If things go south, just bring up his small dinghy.
I like it.
His broken dinghy, apparently. His small broken dinghy. Things have changed since those days.
Oh, that was good.
It was good. It was good. Thank you guys so much for sticking through that. I know Cole had to duck out a little bit early, but I also want to respect your guys' time too. Let's go reverse order here. Belbin, what were your thoughts on tonight's session? A lot of chit chat from Belbin, especially with the session being away. This was a Belbin session tonight.
This town just feels more homey. Like, Fashion Fae is not. I kind of hated Fashion Fae in all honesty. Like, there were so many rules that I felt like if Belbin opened his mouth at all, he'd be going to jail. Whereas in Folden Rock, it's like
Belbin could poop in the streets.
Home. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what he needs. He's used to pooping in like bars and stuff, you know, and that it seems well accepted here.
Am I wrong? I feel like Belbin, you like pooped on someone's bed once. Did that happen? I feel like that happened a long time ago.
It did happen.
Back in the day, I don't know about a bed. I think I've pooped on bar counters and bar floors.
We'll just call you
times.
Amber.
I do not remember the context, but I do remember Belbin pooping on a bed.
It could be.
Do you know what it was? I think it was like way back in Shiloh. And like Belbin was trying to get together with that one girl and like broke into the house and like took a dump on her bed or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the days. Yeah. I don't remember. I remember breaking in that girl's house and freaking her out, almost getting arrested. But I escaped that one. That was a good one.
You also murdered someone. And
that
stole
was
their
way
pony.
back in the day. Got caught because the pony
those who
wasn't
don't know,
fast enough.
Belbin seems nefarious these days, but he was far more unleashed back.
And there's a reason why he is now in Vice.
Yeah.
And has been in Vice like the entire time.
Yeah,
He's had
Eclaas
some
has
counseling.
probably has been a good influence.
You can
Maybe.
you could take the murder out of the Glyven, but you can't take the crime out of the Glyven.
I don't know if that's how that goes, but no, I think the session was good. Yeah, Belbin, this place just more feels like home. I think things aren't as prim and proper, and that's the way they should be in Belbin's eyes.
It's true.
As long
Learning to fish.
and that was Belbin's thing. It's like as long as you have a drink in your hand, if everyone's walking around with a drink in their hand, if you got a bottle of rum, you can just clink it to some guy's glass and try to catch a marlin. But didn't pan out this time.
It was good. I actually really appreciated having the Belbin insight for all of this. I don't know why, but like it feels like the conversations that tend to happen, like this one was very much like less diplomatic and more like just like let's freaking cut to the chase. But you know,
Which
it's
is good
actually
sometimes.
refreshing. It's nice. It's not beating around the bush. It's good stuff.
Yeah. You can only sing Jonas Brothers for so long. So
That's
Slipping into the
also having a bartender named Jonas, you got to know we're gonna take that and run with it.
Oh, yeah. Good.
And what do you guys
Yeah.
have against Kevin?
He's by far the worst brother.
I think he had like a reality TV show for a hot sec.
So we went to Disney back in September. Well, so my sister and her family went in October, and while they were out there, when they were at Hollywood Studios, they were supposed to be at the table next to Kevin Jonas and his family, at the restaurant that they were at, because they have it in with the person who runs the restaurant, and he never showed up with his family,
Kevin
so
canceled.
screw Kevin.
Kevin.
Freaking Kevin.
I thought it was funny.
It's because they know that they're
So-
giving away secrets at that restaurant. They're like, can't trust them. But yeah, it was a good
Not wrong
session.
about that.
I'm happy to see Belbin at work doing his thing, and I agree. He feels very much more at home in this environment than Fesh and Faye, for sure. That's for sure. I'm excited to see, like, as you guys continue to explore the town and do your stuff. And again, like, I don't want to, like, railroad you into, like, doing certain things. But, like, especially when it came to, like, the note, I just want to, like, point you guys in directions of things to go. But you can do other things. Like, for example, Zill got a freaking sweet armor piece. He went poor because of it. But, like, you guys can, like, go and, like, do, like, other things in the city. You don't have to just completely focus on like the task at hand. This is kind of like a city and like it's more of like an exploration, but it's good to like kind of progress some of the stuff so you guys can have certain information and then you can kind of do what you want with it. So just FYI, going to the next time, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm just like, hey guys, go to this person, go to this person, go to this person. I was just like, just read the names on this paper. So you guys have ideas of where to go, and then I'll leave it to you to be able to do some stuff. Which is part of the reason, too, like, for those who are viewing this, I literally gave you a map with, like, literally everything on it, like, all of the places. So if there's anywhere, if you want to, like, look at it, I can post this in the Everlast chat if I haven't already. If there's any places of interest between now and next session that you're just like, oh, maybe I want to check that out, like, keep it in mind. Make a mental note of it. Because you guys, as characters, technically have maps right now. So have the map, and so if you want to do that, feel free to do that if there's any place that is of interest of you. This is like I said, a sandbox. It's kind of free to your disposal, so have fun.
Excellent.
I'm excited.
Cool. Anything else, Connor?
No.
Dane?
I still love these sessions. One thing I really do like about this party is that, like, even like the seemingly boring parts of it aren't boring. I actually think they're really, really fun. Like, there's the conversations and the shenanigans we get ourselves into is like good. It's not like, and how to say, to preface it, it's not murder hobo-y either. Because I feel like when you say we get into shenanigans, oftentimes it's like you burn down the bar kind of thing. Where that's not the case with this party. Like, I think we each have our very unique, very different, unique personalities, and I think we always do a good job of letting it shine. There's not really anyone who really takes over, you know? It was nice to see a lot more like interaction with Belbin, because it's very not uncharacteristic of Belbin, but it's good to see him speaking a lot more, you know? And even like with Max and Zill going off and doing his thing, like I was very curious about that. And Zill's getting brave and doing things on his own. And
I just love the assumption. Okay, see you at the go have fun Max. Which he did. So it's just like you say that, and like literally the last thing he's like, I'm not going to blacksmith, like I have a task, and then you just see him at the blacksmith.
Yep. That's like no, but I mean, ultimately, I think it's like just a really fun party to be part of, and especially like as we're playtesting this as well. Obviously, there's a lot of difficulties and a lot of maybe headaches that come along with it, but because we're with such a awesome group of people, it makes it more enjoyable even that. So by the way, thank you so much, Noom, for the gifted sub.
Hey,
Make sure you thank Noom, Dijiz. Make sure you thank Noom. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as the session goes, I'm very curious about all these new characters. I'm really happy Belbin kind of was just like, okay, no nonsense, let's get down to talking and not beating around the bush. I actually think we got a lot accomplished today, ultimately.
Yeah, this is the
We
first
actually
session that
have
you
a
didn't
lead.
just leave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We entered. We entered. But no, I mean, like I was fully expecting today's session to be like wandering around the city and just like looking for something. But I think we did a good job of like not spending too much time lollygagging, I guess. I think it was a very productive session, but also a very entertaining one as well. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good session.
One other thing I would say, I'm a little nervous about the princess. I think if we don't keep an eye on her, I think she may get like kidnapped or something, and then we
Yeah,
have
well,
to.
we'll be careful.
Yeah.
We'll be careful. Yeah,
Anyway.
Luxalia is just going to be right next to her, so Luxalia will get kidnapped too. That's
Yeah, I guess that's good.
If Cole,
I'm not worried about that.
if Cole like reaches out like next session and is like, "Hey guys, sorry I can't be there."
Oh no.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Hey guys, well, what do I do with Luxalia while she's away? Ah, her and Princess Mila get kidnapped. Perfect.
because Luxalia was
It's
pretending to be
flawless.
drunk and let her guard down.
Can't leave early.
When in
Cole.
reality, she was just having a grumbly tumbly from overly acidic coffee. Speaking of coffee,
Not overly acidic. Actually, that's one thing I really do like about this, because obviously, like when you get a new coffee company, like I'm not necessarily a stickler when it comes to coffee, but I know there's sticklers out there. These coffees, at least the ones that I've tried so far, very smooth. I can't really drink black coffee because again, it's acidic and it's just overall like not a good time. I can drink these black, and so like they're very smooth. On the packaging, if you guys are curious, it actually has like the different notes. So if you're curious about like you want to buy some coffee but you don't know what each tastes like, they're very true tasting. Like this one is the decaf blend, cocoa, mellow citrus, and it's like a toasty. It's a very nice subtle coffee. And then you got, for example, our light blend, the golden hour and the silverwood, and this one's got dried fruit. It's citrus, so if it's definitely like a little bit lighter and a little bit different, a lot different than the other blends. We got eight different blends ranging from medium blends, dark blends, light blends, medium dark, medium light. It's pretty cool. Go check them out. They're or go check out our shop. It's definitely a good place to check out for coffee, especially if you like coffee. And if you don't like coffee, you can always get it for a loved one or a friend for like a birthday or holiday. Mother's Day's coming up. Father's Day's coming up. Mothers and fathers typically like coffee. Purchase an Everlast coffee for your
Christmas
your
is coming up in more than a few months.
few months. The 4th of July for American friends is coming up. What's more
What's more
happy
patriotic than a cup of Joe?
No, but I mean it's pretty cool, and it goes to a really good cause as well. So it feeds that coffee addiction in you, and it's good coffee, and you get exclusive art. All of this art that are part of all of these are official Everlast artworks, and all of the descriptions on the back, for example, like the midnight in Flamongolith, walking through the snow-covered streets of Flamongolith at the foot of the Ruthenian peaks. The late-night chatter of artisans and travelers welcomes even the most far-afield wanderer. A city that never sleeps, yet these snowy streets evoke peace and serenity that makes one feel at home. Relief, like a warm embrace at journey's end. Gives a little description about every single little city that's in Everlast, which is pretty sweet. So, especially if you like Everlast, it's a really good way to support it, and at the same time, get some really good coffee out of it. So, it's pretty sweet.
Anything
That's all
else,
I have to say
Dane?
about that. We got a couple things. So coming up, I will not be streaming tomorrow, unfortunately. So my niece has her birthday party Sunday morning, and then I'll be out of town through Tuesday afternoon. So I will unfortunately not. I have to go to church tomorrow during like the midnight or the evening mass. So I can't stream, unfortunately. So no streams tomorrow. Kyle will be continuing his playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima on Sunday. I will not be streaming on Monday. However, we will be back with Adventures in Middle Earth on Tuesday, Area Door Adventures, which will be really fun. So come join us. I will be back for that. And then Kyle will continue Ghost of Tsushima. Cole will be playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses next Wednesday. I'll be back with Elden Ring on Thursday, and then nothing on Friday. And also, don't forget, guys, for the next like 12 hours ish, we still have for the 24-hour Everlast sale. So if you've been wanting like merch and you've been wanting some designs, but like maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to spend $19.99 on a shirt, which I actually think is a pretty good price. You can now buy them for like $14.99, and you can get some pretty sweet hoodies, like some sweet desk mats for really, really cheap. And it's only for 24 hours every single time we have Everlast. So if you can't afford one or you don't want to buy one right now, every single time we have Everlast for a 24-hour period, we will be having all of our Everlast merch on sale. So that's a really good time to get it, for sure. So consider doing that. And DaiSNACki, we have an amazing sponsor, DaiSNACki, Japanese sweets and luxury treats. They're a small family business based in Tokyo, Japan, and they have all kinds of wonderful boxes. They just finished their spring boxes, so they no longer have the Sakura box or the matcha box available. However, they do have their omakase box, which is just your general assortment of treats and delicious snacks that you can get from Japan, like the grocery stores or the konbinis. But then they also have their kawaii boxes, which are more like character themed goods. So you can get like their general kawaii box, which has like more like anime goods and just general like Japanese characters. And then you have your themed boxes, such as the Pokemon box. There's a Nintendo box. There's a Disney box. There's also a Sanrio box, which is like Hello Kitty, Pom Pom Pootie, and all those characters. So consider checking them out. The most important thing, though, is upon checkout, there's a little box where you can like make a little comment. Make sure to mention that Forge sent you. Otherwise, we don't get credit for that. I mean, it's always good to support a small family business. However, we want the credit. We want the credit. So please say that Forge sent you, and also consider putting your own Twitch username, because we do use those when we hit a referral limit to do a raffle where we will be giving away one of their boxes, and you get extra perks and stuff for that as well. So consider doing that. They're awesome. They're really cool. They've been our partner for over a year, and I think everyone's really liked them so far. So hopefully they continue that partnership with us in the new year. It seems like we have a good relationship. So that's good. And aside from that, I can't think of anything. Again, check out Everlast Coffee. All of that is linked below. Check out our merch stores. And also go check out our YouTube. So on our YouTube, if you're confused on what's going on, all of our sessions are uploaded to YouTube regularly. So go check those out and catch up. You got plenty of time before our next session. Speaking of which, Kyle, 25th, 26th for April?
26th, I believe. So 26th for those on the west side of the world, and for those of us on the east side of the world, is the 27th. So yeah, the 10:30 a.m. JST on Saturday, or whatever that time is for you guys, Mountain Time, 7:30. Something like that.
I think so. Yeah, 7:30. So come check us. So come check that out. But in the meantime, we have an amazing schedule ahead of us, including, guys, we do Everlast, but we also do Dungeons and Dragons here. Like every week, Kyle DMs Dungeons and Dragons, but it's Lord of the Rings themed Dungeons and Dragons. As I mentioned before, Area Door Adventures is this Tuesday. We switch off with our Australian group and our American group, but it's really fun too, especially if you like the world of Tolkien and you like low fantasy. In a sense, where like that's not crazy magic, you're not fireballing everyone every 2 seconds. Definitely, there's a lot more focus on like diplomacy and like interacting with the peoples of the world. Yeah, it's really cool. So come, especially if you like D&D and you want to experience something unique when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons. Definitely Adventures of Middle-earth is really cool for that. But yeah, join our Discord too. You'll find the entire schedules there, so you'll never lost. And we always update them, so if we're ever late, we always post that and whatnot. So check that out. Cool. That's all I have to say.
Zill, your thoughts on tonight's session? I did not forget you.
Tonight was fun. Thank you all for bearing with my raspy voice and my incessant coughing.
Wasn't too bad. Don't worry.
Hopefully on the upward trend.
Feel better.
But I actually did not have any intention of going to the blacksmith this session. I just had time to kill.
And now you have a super cool new piece of armor that costs you your life savings.
Oh, the haggling got me down to I still have 200 EC left.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And 90 EP.
Oh, there you go.
So the haggling went well. But no, it was a lot of fun. Got a little bit more of Orphan Street Rat Zone with trying to help Princess Mila. It's like, look, this is a world you don't know and a world I didn't see in Fashion Fae. But it's my world. So here's some help. Hopefully you don't get taken advantage of, get kidnapped.
A world from high tea and classy pearly white streets to a place of soot and poo.
So that was really fun. It's also fun because, as someone, I think Dane noted in the comments, that I have no idea how to talk to a princess.
It's so funny.
Which-
You just started talking about pooping in the streets. Just like...
Which, on the one hand, Zill has learned a lot about the high class society, but he is still an orphan at heart and does not get the nuance or the decorum of it. So that was fun. But seeing Folden Rock is a little more familiar to Helix, he thought he would put his past to use. I don't know how much you guys want to hear about what Zill was planning or leave it hidden. I know I gave a fairly big hint in the comments in the Twitch stream, but
I think I'm excited to find out next session.
find out.
Yeah.
Yes, but I did say specifically Zill was looking for some children pickpockets.
As they grab him, he's gonna
Oh.
grab them by their necks and be like, "Where's our kid? Where's our kid?"
That's not far off, but definitely
Child abuse. Look forward
Not-
to it.
not child abuse, not that intense, but using his background and understanding of pickpocketing, of ideally being able to recognize it happening to him, presenting himself as an easy target to hopefully aid Eclaas. I'll leave it at that to not spoil too much for Dane.
I love
But-
too the natural one on that roll to.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
Kami,
Zill.
thank you so much for the blessing. I'm glad I didn't have to burn it on the armor, because as awesome as that armor was, and I'm glad it worked out, it was not like, this plan is actually to help get us to the key. So I'm like, I will save it for any piece of that going wrong. The armor was just a nice bonus along the way. And hopefully Zill can make some money while he's here. If he's got more time to kill and can make some weapons for the armor, or the army. Some Draken made weapons.
One thing I will say, so the way that, like, for example, like enchantments and stuff on armor go is, like, if you get a piece of gear that has an enchantment, it doesn't immediately present itself and manifest itself.
Yeah.
And so the way, like, as an explanation for everyone, and so he's got this really cool enchanted plate armor now, but he's not going to be able to use it until he finds someone to tell him what the enchantment is. And so once he figures that out, and then it'll be revealed, and then it'll start to take effect once it's been kind of discerned of what it is.
So it doesn't even. So I can't find out the enchantment by accident. Whatever
It just
the enchantment
you
is.
probably, especially with this piece, you probably wouldn't notice it.
Okay, good to know.
If like it would be difficult to do. So I mean, like
Okay.
there's definitely like certain effects that like definitely would take place. Like it'd be like, whoa, like what the heck did this just do? And just that you discover like there are certain things, but probably for this one not so much.
Good to know. Yeah, but no, the armor.
Holy.
It's a little sad to let the other piece go because it was made by Zill himself.
If you want to go visit it, it'll be in a display case.
But his first concern is like, okay, we're literally taking on like the big evils of the world. How can I be best prepared for it? Which is why, like, equipment is the one thing he has no issue spending money on. He'll try to get
Hey.
the best deal, but he'll do it.
I'll tell you, that's a good thing to spend money on. I agree.
Yeah, an extra DV, like, it goes a long way. Like,
It does.
For reference,
Yeah, what are
on
you sitting at
eight-
now? 17?
that put me to
I'm not-
17. On a 16, on a D16 base game, I'm at above the max roll for no modifiers, which is
Crazy.
Phil, I
good.
thought you were at 17. Weren't you at 17 before?
There was some things that got shuffled around with some of the updates.
Gotcha.
So I think I've got the armor is giving me 14. the inherent 2 everybody have puts me to 16, and my helm gives me my 17th. So I've got that helm. Maybe I need to upgrade that helm soon.
Belbin just has the moves like Jagger, for, like the armor,
Yeah,
the armor
man.
that he has. Basically, no one can just hit him because
Can't touch this.
he's
Yeah.
got rickets. It makes him malleable.
So, no, it was a lot of fun. Yes, the blacksmithing part is kind of a cliche at this point, but it brings me so much joy.
I just love the idea that it's like you went off and did something. You're like, I'm not going to blacksmith, and they just find you at the blacksmith.
I genuinely was not planning on it because I was hoping to just run into the kid thieves right away. That was the idea. That did not happen.
Gotta wait till
So, like,
nighttime.
well-
You gotta wait till the sketchy times of the day. Instead of just the random 3 people that are just like, what is this guy doing? Just, oh, I hope somebody doesn't just steal from me. Just like,
So,
a little
yeah,
creepy.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Intrigued to see what the armor is going to be. But hey, the extra DV itself is worth it. So.
Absolutely, for sure. Real quick, a couple notes for me about tonight's session. One of the things about like these kind of sessions is like, again, it was the first session that's like they weren't just like leaving somewhere, but like these early sessions, especially in these type of quests, are very much like laying the groundwork for the party to get to know the city a little bit more, to be able to interact with some of kind of the key NPCs, get introduced to that kind of stuff. And so once later events begin to transpire and take place, it doesn't just feel like, oh, I'm just getting carried from one place to another. There's a balance when it comes to doing that. And so like I love how like you guys took the initiative to go and find out, like, you have a task, you have something to accomplish, and you're doing what you can to be able to do that. And now that the kind of like the beginning tutorial of Folden Rock is beginning to unfold, it'll kind of start to open up more for you guys to be able to do some exploration, figure out what's going on, figure out the way that the city is run. You've learned kind of a little bit of some of kind of the politics of the city from the Monteblair family, not the Monteblair, the freaking Harrogate family, but also just kind of like some of the issues that are starting to pervade in the city. So like a lot of information dump was during this section, and so take that, remember it for in 2 weeks when we actually go, so we can hit the ground running. But no, it was good. I think you guys did a great job for tonight. And again, it's always really fun. I love this group. You guys are amazing, and it's just great to be able to get to play some Everlast with you. Does anyone else have anything to add? We already went through all the scheduling stuff and everything. Are we good?
I did that early.
Yeah? No, that's okay. It's okay. Are we good? Anything else?
Nope.
Awesome. May Alomnia guide each and every one of you. God bless you all. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Pray for each other. Happy Easter weeks. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks for more Everlast. And personally, I will see you guys on Monday for some more Ghosts of Tsushima. But until then, yeah, we'll all see you later. Thanks, guys.